Yi-Mo heard that a mortal artifact would have divine damnation when completed, but he didn't see any divine damnation. It was probably due to the incomplete laws of his world. Second, he didn't completely mold the Kuan scale in. Yi-Mo heard that a mortal artifact would have divine damnation when completed, but he didn't see any divine damnation. It was probably due to the incomplete laws of his world. Second, he didn't completely mold the Kuan scale in. More importantly, his blue moon was just barely half a mortal artifact. It was still a far way away from a mortal artifact. Plus, half immortal artifacts didn't have divine damnation anyways. Yi-Mo's blue moon wasn't completely upgraded, so its chi was exposed. Yi-Mo couldn't perfect it more for now, but he could inscribe some stealth formations on it to cover its chi. Then Yi-Mo left the Golden Page world and put away all the restrictions. Yi-Mo put the red jade box back into the storage ring before coming out of the room. He came out and saw Ji-Ling and them discussing something. Their faces were very serious. "What's going on?" Yi-Mo asked in confusion. Ji-Ling answered, "Hanan told us about your deal with the city lord." "Yi-Mo, this was too risky. If we leave the city now, perhaps we'll be followed." Yi-Mo nodded. "Ji Qianbei, it's not just probable. It's certain that we'll be followed. There's no way that the city lord won't hunt us. But we should leave now in case anything else coming up." "Martial brother Yi, are we leaving now?" Guang Wei asked in confusion. Yi-Mo nodded in certainty. "Yes, we must go now as fast as possible." He didn't talk about Blue Moon. He wouldn't say anything about this before going out of Yin Hai City. No matter how confident he was in his formations and restrictions, he wouldn't do such a thing. Who knows if Yin Su would be able to hear it? Seeing that Yi-Mo had made up his decision, Ji-Ling didn't ask and quickly packed away all the formations and restrictions. Moments later, they left the hotel. At the same time, Yi-Mo noticed that there were many people watching them outside the hotel. But Yi-Mo was sure they weren't sent by the city lord. Yin Su didn't need them. When the seven came to the city gates, Yi-Mo saw that Yin Sha was waiting outside the city for him. There were two disaster transformation state cultivators next to him. Yi-Mo didn't see that cauldron-filling state female cultivator. Guang Wei looked worriedly at Yi-Mo. "Yi-Mo, these people seem to have been watching us. What do we do?" "Ignore them, let's just leave." Yi-Mo ignored Yin Sha's murderous eyes and walked out. As expected, no one stopped them from going out. When they came to that huge grassy plain, Yi-Mo swiped with the card and a void formation door appeared. "Going quickly," Yi-Mo said and went in. Moments later, the seven appeared on that huge rock again. Yi-Mo breathed easy. He felt free here again, not oppressed like in Yin Hai City. "I feel much more comfortable," Meng Hanan sighed. Yi-Mo didn't ask about her feelings and took out Blue Moon. "Quickly, get on, we need to leave." Ji-Ling immediately saw the stealth formations Yi-Mo had added. He thought of the Kuan scale. Did Yi-Mo really refine it? He didn't ask Yi-Mo about it, as now wasn't the time. When they got on Blue Moon, Yin Sha and them quickly followed. However, they were on a top-grade flying cultivation artifact instead of the low-grade flying cultivation artifact from before. When they got on, Ji-Ling and them found that Blue Moon wasn't any faster than before, but instead a little slower. Tung Yi also noticed this and said, "Yi-Mo, increase the speed to max. We need to run." Meng Hanan answered for Yi-Mo, "We can't increase to max speed yet. If we do, the nearby truth realization state cultivators would know that ordinary flying magic artifacts wouldn't be able to chase up to us and will come after us immediately." Sister Meng is right. But Yi-Mo had another reason, that Yin Sha was too cocky. He would feel uncomfortable if he didn't teach Yin Sha a lesson. Thus, they couldn't go too fast. A few hours later, Yi-Mo stopped Blue Moon. Meng Hanan asked in confusion, "Martial brother, we just got 100,000 kilometers away from Yin Hai City. Why did you stop?" Meng Hanan thought now was the time to speed up. Yi Mo knew what she meant. He pointed at Yin Sha. I don't like that guy. I want to teach him a lesson. Yi Mo knew that even if the city lord was going to attack him, he wouldn't do it in front of Yin Sha and them. Outside the no-fighting range, Yin Sha wanted to stop Yi Mo and them, but saw Yi Mo stop himself. Before they said anything, Yi Mo came out of Blue Moon and said to Yin Sha, "If you want to fight, hurry up. I don't have much time." Hearing this, Yin Sha and them laughed. A cauldron-filling state, level 6, pointed his finger at a disaster transformation state, level 6, telling him to hurry up and fight? Was there something funnier than this in the world? Only Guang Wei looked worried. She knew Yin Sha was disaster transformation state, middle stage, while Yi Mo was cauldron-filling state. How could he beat Yin Sha? Ming Xian didn't know Yin Sha's power. Meanwhile, Meng Henan and them didn't worry about Yi Mo at all. Yi Mo could kill disaster transformation state, middle stage Yang Yen at cauldron-filling state level 2. He was now cauldron-filling state level 6. Even if he was no match for Yin Sha, he wouldn't lose by much. Yin Sha turned around to the 2 disaster transformation state, tertiary stages, and saluted with his fists. "2 brothers, watch him and don't let the others run. Watch how I teach this kid a lesson." Yin Sha then released his yin yang lock and his power rose drastically. There were explosions in the air due to his pressure. Yi Mo saluted with his fists at this moment. "Friend, it was my fault that I took Guang Wei away before, but she's my friend." Yin Sha and them were dazed. Yi Mo was being very cocky just then, as though he didn't fear anyone, but now he was scared? Yin Sha snarled, "What? Scared now? It's too late. Weren't you very cocky at the trade hall, destroying someone's Dan Tian and taking 11 cultivation women? I'll tell you right now, even if I let you go today, you think you can get away? Keep fucking dreaming." Yi Mo frowned and took out a red jade box. "This is a blue lightning source bead. It's very precious. I'll give it to you, friend. Please let me go." Then he opened the jade box to show Yin Sha and threw it over at him. Yin Sha immediately wrapped the box with his cultivation essence and checked it carefully before opening it. It was indeed a blue lightning source bead. He was overjoyed. This was more precious than 7 or 8 cultivation women. If it was some lightning spirit root cultivator, this was the best thing for them. It was a priceless treasure for them. He didn't expect that Yi Mo gave him something this precious before he even attacked. Clearly he had more precious things. Yi Mo didn't even wait for him to finish and released Zisu. Rings of purple ray emanated like a beam from Zisu, and they covered the heavens as they swooped towards Yin Sha. Instantly, Yin Sha couldn't be seen anymore. There were just purple rays. Illusion Cloud 7th Strike. Formation Shatter Yi Mo's strike locked the surrounding space, and at the same time, he sent over a few spirit sense transformed blades. Yin Sha didn't take this cauldron-filling state, level 6 cultivator seriously, and casually let out his yin-yang lock. He didn't want to kill Yi Mo, he wanted Yi Mo alive. But instantly he felt something was wrong. The space around him froze, and it was hard for him to use his magic artifact. This is domain, initial completion domain. Yin Sha was extremely shocked. Even his domain wasn't in initial completion, yet a cauldron-filling state cultivator had achieved this. In his shock, Yin Sha forcefully used his yin-yang lock. He broke free of Yi Mo's domain instantly, and the yin-yang lock swept towards the purple rays. But at this moment, there were piercing pains in his sea of consciousness. This was a spirit sense cultivation method. Yin Sha was completely shook. He started burning his essence blood without hesitation and forcefully shattered the spirit sense blade. This was a spirit sense cultivation method. Yin Sha was completely shook. He started burning his essence blood without hesitation and forcefully shattered the spirit sense blade. Thud, thud, Yin Sha's yin-yang lock swirled, clashed with the purple ray, and instantly let off a terrifying cultivation essence explosion. The sea water below was parted by this explosion. Although the yin yang lock broke Yi Mo's domain and blocked most of Yi Mo's purple ray, a small part of the purple ray still slipped through. A blood light flashed, and his arm was taken away by the purple ray. Yin Sha lost an arm because he underestimated Yi Mo and didn't use a defense magic artifact. Yi Mo didn't feel that well either. The powerful cultivation essence, swirl, knocked him flying back, and he also spat a mouthful of blood. Yi Mo knew that although he wasn't afraid of Yin Sha, the difference in power was too great. Yin Sha was much stronger than that Yong Yen. You dare to injure me. Yin Sha was furious, but Yi Mo didn't go back to Blue Moon. Instead, he used 2 more lightning arcs. Hearing 2 thuds, Yin Sha was dazed. The 2 lightning arcs didn't attack him, but his broken arm, which was instantly disintegrated. Yin Sha was so angry he spat blood again. He could reattach the broken arm previously, but how could he do that when it was turned to dust? Without a powerful spirit herb, he would have to stay one-armed forever. Spirit herbs that could grow back lost limbs were rare even in the cultivation realm. The immortal curl flower could do it, but could he get that? The 9-color lotus could as well, but he couldn't get that either. When Yi Mo flew back to Blue Moon, Yin Sha woke up. He indeed only had 1 arm now. As his fury grew, Blue Moon flew again. Chase, I'm going to kill him. Yin Sha had lost his reason. But the 2 other disaster transformation state cultivators he was with were calm, and that disaster transformation state peak stage cultivator said, Brother Yin, you're too impetuous and underestimating. Otherwise, the cauldron filling state level 6 wouldn't be able to injure you. Indeed, we need to chase up and kill him. If that cultivator reaches disaster transformation state, ordinary disaster transformation states won't be a match for him. The disaster transformation state level 8 also nodded. That's right, that cauldron filling state cultivator is too terrifying. He's only cauldron filling state level 6, but his domain is in initial completion. His lightning style attacks are also too terrifying. Once he's disaster transformation state, no one in disaster transformation state would be able to take him on. Yin Sha calmed down now too. He realized he was too careless. But any disaster transformation state cultivator wouldn't take things seriously when they fought a cauldron filling state cultivator. I must kill this person or my mental state won't be calm, Yin Sha said word by word. The disaster transformation state peak stage smiled. Their flying cultivation artifact may be extreme grade, but it's not fast enough. We'll be able to catch up in about half a day. Ming Xian didn't know Yin Sha's power, but after Guang Wei told her, she began to worry. Now, Yi Mo had cut off one of Yin Sha's arms with only cauldron filling state power. Ming Xian was very shocked. She had seen too many cultivators fighting people above their cultivation level, but not someone as absurd as Yi Mo. Everyone else didn't seem surprised at what Yi Mo did. Tung Yi asked again, Yi Mo, we should hurry up and go now. Yi Mo shook his head. No need, wait another half a day. Yi Mo didn't know if the city lord estate's people were watching him, but he had a feeling they wouldn't let him go. Half a day later, when Yin Sha's top-grade flying cultivation artifact appeared before them again, Yi Mo said, we can go now. Then Yi Mo put 8 extreme-grade spirit stones on the Blue Moon and activated its max speed. Those 3 disaster transformation state cultivators thought they were about to catch up to Yi Mo. But before they could make a plan, they saw Yi Mo's flying cultivation artifact suddenly accelerate more than 10 times faster than before. It flew away like a blue moon, not leaving behind a single mark. The 3 were dazed and subconsciously stopped their flying cultivation artifact. How could they chase at this speed? Yi Mo had already disappeared from their sights. Fuck, this bastard has been playing with us, the disaster transformation state level 8 cursed. He came to help Yin Sha because he was interested in Blue Moon, but now he couldn't see Blue Moon at all. It's actually a half-immortal flying artifact, so powerful. The disaster, transformation state, peak stage, said. Een Shah murmured. So he wasn't afraid of us chasing. Such a calculated cultivator. Wait. The disaster transformation state, peak stage, suddenly stared at Een Shah. Een Shah and the other cultivator subconsciously looked at this disaster transformation state, peak stage. The disaster transformation state peak stage asked coldly, Brother Een Shah, he has a half-immortal artifact. Can we chase up to him? Een Shah subconsciously shook his head. Of course not. We only have a top-grade flying cultivation artifact. Suddenly, Een Shah thought of something and took out that jade box. You mean? The disaster transformation state peak stage nodded. Yes, if he can get away, why give something as precious as the blue lightning source be to you? Don't you feel it strange? That cultivator is very decisive. He destroyed your arm after severing it. Do you think someone like that will kindly give you the blue lightning source bead? The disaster transformation state peak stage asked. Een Shah also recounted how cruel and calculated Yemo was in the trade hall. He immediately began to sweat. Just when he was hesitating, two figures flew by and landed in front of them. The three immediately stopped their discussion and looked at these two with respect. They were truth realization state cultivators without any doubt. The man at the front seemed very charismatic and wore a mask. The cultivator behind him was like a ghost. The masked cultivator saw the red jade box, and his eyes turned frigid. He took the jade box and opened it. One blue lightning source bead laid in there. The Kuan scale was gone. His spirit sense mark was on the bead. The masked cultivator's hands were clearly shaking due to excitement. He stared coldly at Een Shah and asked, Where did you get the jade box? Een Shah told everything, not daring to hide anything. You're saying he has a flying half-immortal artifact? The masked cultivator asked emotionlessly. The three shivered and just kept nodding. They finally realized why Yemo gave them this jade box. It was a huge trap. The masked cultivator was so furious that he was shaking. He was worried about the Kuan scale and came to kill Yemo personally, but he still got away. Master, we can chase them now. Even without the mark, we might not fail, the shadow said. Een Su nodded and looked coldly at the three. Kill them. He hated these three insects for ruining his plan. Yes, the shadow said and loomed over the three. Even the disaster transformation state peak stage just managed to take out his magic artifact before he was frozen by the shadow's domain. Then they were all crushed to nothing. Chase, Een Su said, looking in the direction Een Shah had pointed at. You've really successfully upgraded it. Meng Hanan looked at Blue Moon's speed in disbelief. This was definitely the speed of a half-immortal artifact. You've really successfully upgraded it. Meng Hanan looked at Blue Moon's speed in disbelief. This was definitely the speed of a half-immortal artifact. The rest of the people realized why Yemo had such confidence in their escape. He had upgraded the extreme grade flying cultivation artifact to half-immortal artifact. Even truth realization state cultivators wouldn't be able to catch up to them unless they also had a half-immortal artifact. Yemo nodded. Yes, but I don't know if it's reached a half-immortal artifact yet. My means are limited, so I've just simply molded the Kuan scale into Blue Moon. I can't even cover its chi. I did it with formation means. Haha. Luckily I'm a formation grandmaster. Hearing this, everyone felt assured this meant that they were safe. But Yemo didn't feel easy. He felt more concerned with Een Su after knowing that the Kuan scale was this strong. He looked at Ming Xian and Guang Wei, asking seriously, Ming Xian Qianbei, did you two ever disclose that you came from North Far State? They both shook their head, but Ming Xian said worriedly, When we were captured, Those people just wanted to sell us. They didn't care where we came from. But in my storage ring, there's the jade card of the Immortal Herb Valley's sect leader. They were taken away by those beast cultivators. Taken away by a few beast cultivators? Yemo frowned, but immediately said, "It should be fine. Those few beast cultivators would need about a year or so to reach Inhai City. During this time, we would have long reached North Far State already. As long as we go back to South Peace State, even if Su goes there, he won't dare to do anything." Yemo, you're saying Inhai City's city lord would cross the Heartless Sea too? Tongue, asked in confusion. Yemo nodded. It's hard for ordinary people and even ordinary truth realization state cultivators. But if it's a truth realization state, peak stage, cultivator with an extreme grade flying cultivation artifact, then he might only need 2 years or less. Ji Ling nodded. That's right. Lu Wuhu Qianbei once crossed the Heartless Sea. He went to the West Store State and only took 4 years. He wasn't even truth realization state peak stage at the time. He was only truth realization state level 7. That time, he almost died in the Heartless Sea. But if it's a truth realization state peak stage cultivator with an extreme grade flying cultivation artifact, there would be no danger in crossing the Heartless Sea. Yemo nodded. For Su and his shadow, it would be good if he didn't go out looking for trouble. No one would dare to look for trouble with him. Imagine if Su flew over the 3 Seas or the Dragon Ting Palace. Would any of them attack, even if they could beat him? Blue Moon sped across the Heartless Sea at a speed that even Yemo felt amazed. Yemo was sure that if Blue Moon became an immortal artifact, then it might only take 3 months to cross the Heartless Sea, or even less. Thinking about that, Yemo felt excited. He needed to hurry up and improve his forgery skills. A week later, Tung Yi and Bien Fingtao were enjoying Blue Moon's speed. But Yemo saw that Ming Xian was a little worried. He thought about it and realized what was going on. He immediately asked, Ming Xian Qianbei, do you know in which direction the Coral Island is that Tang Mengrao Qianbei is hiding on? We can go see. Ming Xian said gratefully to Yemo, I don't know as well, I was lost, but it's in the direction towards North Far State. We just need to watch out along the way. Perhaps we can see it. Okay. Yemo didn't have a spirit range to cultivate with, so he manned the ship himself. 2 months later, Ming Xian suddenly pointed at a huge island. I've seen this island before. We flew south from this island for a month, and it was Tang Mengrao Qianbei's island. Yemo heard this and rejoiced. This meant that they were at most a month away from North Far State. The half-immortal artifact was indeed fast. Ming Xian said 1 month, but it only took 3 days to arrive at that coral island. Yemo saw there were marks of a stealth formation. We don't need to land. There's no one on the island, Jiling said. Yemo nodded. Ming Xian Qianbei. Someone has set up a formation here, but that person has gone. There are no marks of battles. Ming Xian breathed easy. Tang Mengrao Qianbei probably recovered and went back to North Far State. Let's go to North Far State now. With Blue Moon's speed, we can probably reach there in 1 month. Yemo nodded, but he didn't agree that Tang Mengrao had recovered. Yemo didn't believe that on this spirit chi-deprived island, a disaster transformation state peak stage cultivator would recover this soon without top-grade pills. Blue Moon changed direction and flew towards North Far State rapidly. A few days later, Yemo suddenly slowed down and looked at Jiling. Ji Qianbei, did you notice the battle to the west? Jiling nodded. Yes, one female cultivator is being attacked by 2 beast cultivators. That female cultivator seems heavily injured. Could it be Tang Mengrao Qianbei? Ming Xian asked worriedly. Yemo smiled. Ming Xian Qianbei, don't worry. It's just 2 disaster transformation state primary stage cultivators. We'll go look at it now. Then, in a few breaths, they arrived at the battle. That female cultivator was seriously injured. She was running north as she was fending off the two beast cultivators. Yi Mo, hurry and go over. It's Tang Meng Rao, Qian Bei. Ming Xian said. Ming Xian's scream caught the attention of the beast cultivators. That injured female cultivator immediately saw Ming Xian and seemed surprised and joyful. She immediately flew over towards Yi Mo and them. The two beast cultivators saw Yi Mo's flying magic artifact and were also overjoyed. Yi Mo opened Blue Moon restriction and let Tang Meng Rao onto Blue Moon. Tang Meng Rao didn't see Jiling, but she saw Yi Mo was only cauldron filling state level 6. However, this flying magic artifact was very powerful. Before she could ask Ming Xian how she knew Yi Mo, she said desperately, I'm seriously injured, fly north. Those two beast cultivators won't be able to chase up. However, soon she was surprised. Yi Mo didn't fly in Blue Moon. Instead, he stopped and smiled at Meng Henan. Sister Meng, there are two disaster transformation state cultivators. I'll leave the disaster transformation state level 1 to you, and I'll take on the disaster transformation state level 3. How about it? Meng Henan rolled her eyes. I thought you were going to leave the level 3 to me. Yi Mo laughed and charged at the disaster transformation state, level 3, with Zisu. Meng Henan also let out her flying sword and attacked the disaster transformation state, level 1. Before Tang Meng Rao could ask Ming Xian who Yi Mo was, she looked at Yi Mo in shock. She completely couldn't understand why this cauldron-filling state, level 6, dared to fight a disaster transformation state, level 3. Jiling smiled. Tang Meng Rao, don't worry for Yi Mo, he has many means, but you need some pills. Then he gave 2 pills to Tang Meng Rao. Eat these pills and recover first. Tang Meng Rao just saw Jiling now and called out in surprise and joy. Your South Peace States, Jiling Qianbei, the Formation Grandmaster? Jiling smiled. That's right, you still remember me. I'm Jiling. We met at Pei High City before. He let out a sigh. Ming Xian, what's going on? How did you meet Jiling Qianbei? Did you go to South Peace State? How is that possible? Tang Meng Rao asked in shock. This is a long story. After Yi Mo beats that guy, I will tell you. Ming Xian pointed at Yi Mo. This is a long story. After Yi Mo beats that guy, I will tell you. Ming Xian pointed at Yi Mo. Tang Meng Rao just realized there were still people fighting and immediately began watching. She was confused why Jiling didn't help, since he was the strongest here. The disaster transformation state level 3 saw that Yi Mo dared to stop him and gave his friend to a disaster transformation state level 3 female cultivator and was dazed. He immediately realized what was going on. She wanted to let this cauldron-filling state cultivator stop him for a while, and after the female cultivator killed his friend, then she would help this cauldron-filling state. Realizing this, the disaster transformation state, level 3, sneered. A mere cauldron-filling state cultivator dared to stall him. He would soon know that it was only a matter of a few breaths for him to kill him. The disaster transformation state, level 3, wanted to kill Yi Mo quickly, so he used a black veil before Yi Mo even let out his magic artifact. With this, Yi Mo felt the sky darken as though surrounded by countless wretched souls. Soul-devouring flag. Yi Mo immediately recognized this magic artifact. He had a 5-color soul-devouring flag, but after he reached higher cultivation levels, he never used it again. However, this cultivator's soul-devouring flag was hundreds of times more powerful than his. As soon as it came out, Yi Mo felt there were countless souls calling for him, and even his mind became restless. This was definitely 1,000 illusion soul-devouring flag, or else it wouldn't have such an effect. It was very hard for soul-devouring flags to upgrade. After the 5-color soul devouring flag, there was the 100 abyss soul devouring flag, then the 1,000 illusion soul devouring flag. 1,000 illusion soul devouring flags not only needed high-level materials, but also relied on devouring souls and cultivator essence spirits. The more essence spirits and souls it devoured, the more powerful it got. Eventually, it might even become a half-immortal artifact. In order to reach that level, it would need countless souls and essence spirits, and they must be high-level ones or things would be really slow. The 1,000 illusion soul devouring flag was equivalent to a middle-grade cultivation artifact. Yi Mo's essence spirit was as powerful as disaster transformation state middle stage cultivators, and his mind was very firm from cultivating next to the bitter bamboo. Even the 1,000 illusion soul devouring flag wasn't able to catch him off guard. With the use of 3-birth chant, his mind calmed down as he released Zisu. The disaster transformation state cultivator thought that his soul devouring flag was sure to take the cauldron filling state cultivator's soul, but instead he saw a purple ray sweep over. It was just one ray at the start, but soon it turned to a whole patch. He formed a domain that was illusion cloud division strike and instantly broke the 1,000 illusion soul devouring flag. The disaster transformation state cultivator felt space stagnate after Yi Mo used the purple ray. He was shocked. He realized instantly what was going on. This cauldron filling state level 6 cultivator was using a domain. This meant that he wasn't here to hold him off, but he really had the power to fight with him. This disaster transformation state cultivator underestimated Yi Mo, but not to Yin Sha's extent. Realizing Yi Mo's power, he didn't dare to underestimate Yi Mo at all. He burned essence blood to break free of Yi Mo's domain and then closed his hands. 9 skulls appeared out of thin air and shot out tens of dark rays that broke Yi Mo's purple sword ray's domain. Then the 9 skulls spun around Yi Mo, getting faster and faster while making an ear-splitting screeching sound. 10s more black rays shot out of the skulls. Yi Mo didn't expect this disaster transformation state cultivator to react so fast. His plan of utilizing his opponent's carelessness failed, so Yi Mo released the octagonal cauldron. Even Jiling and Tang Mengrao realized this cauldron was no ordinary thing. Meng Henan just realized that Yi Mo had such a defense magic artifact. He didn't even take it out when he fought Yongyan. A piercing sound struck the octagonal cauldron and made it wobble. But even so, the octagonal cauldron still spun rapidly above Yi Mo's head, protecting him. The disaster transformation state found in shock that his 9-skull formation didn't affect the cauldron filling state cultivator at all. He had never seen a cauldron filling state cultivator this powerful, forcing a stalemate with a disaster transformation state cultivator. Tang Mengrao looked at Yi Mo in more disbelief. He realized now why this cauldron filling state level 6 was fighting the stronger enemy. He was clearly stronger than the disaster transformation state level 3 female cultivator. Yi Mo knew that if he didn't use Shadowless to help, he wouldn't be able to kill this disaster transformation state level 3 by himself. He was much stronger than Yongyan, who was disaster transformation state level 4. When Yi Mo called out Shadowless, he used Lightning Sword. At this moment, the disaster transformation state cultivator just realized that Yi Mo was actually a lightning cultivator. Immediately, he wanted to retreat. He was a beast cultivator, but he used the demon cultivation method. It was in the soul-devouring category. This type of cultivator feared lightning cultivators the most because lightning style naturally countered them. As soon as Yi Mo used Lightning Sword, this disaster transformation state quickly protected himself with the 9 skulls while also releasing a dark blue cultivation artifact, Flying Sword. Yi Mo immediately knew his lightning was countering this cultivator and used more lightning arcs. His spirit sense was powerful and his lightning arc sword was in initial completion. With his full-powered attack, he instantly suppressed the disaster transformation state cultivator. Tang Yi saw this and couldn't resist anymore. During this trip, he never had a chance to fight. His heart was itching to battle. He just released his golden dragon drill and charged up. That disaster transformation state cultivator was already having huge pressure fighting with EMO. And now that Tang Yi came too, he was more worried. Tang Yi was only cauldron filling state level 9, but he was already scared of Yi Mo, this maniac. If this Tang Yi was also like Yi Mo, he would be dead for sure. He couldn't help his partner and swept up his soul-devouring flag to shoot rings at Yi Mo and Tang Yi. He was planning to run. Yi Mo could tell what this disaster transformation state level 3 was thinking. He shot out a few spirit sense blades over without hesitation and signaled Shadowless to be ready. Shadowless had been cooperating with Yi Mo for many years and knew what Yi Mo meant. Plus, he was very picky with food now, so he was already drooling for this disaster transformation state level 3 cultivator. The disaster transformation state level 3 knew now was the best time for him to retreat, but before he could, he felt his sea of consciousness ache. His control of his magic artifact stagnated for a moment. The disaster transformation state level 3 immediately knew things weren't good. This was spirit sense cultivation method. He didn't expect this cauldron filling state level 6 to not only know domain, but also have a spirit sense cultivation method. The disaster transformation state level 3 couldn't keep his soul-devouring flag anymore. He burned essence blood without hesitation, trying to break free of the spirit sense blade. As soon as he did, he felt his meridians ache. Shadowless didn't use much effort to ambush this disaster transformation state, level 3. It was now that this disaster transformation state, level 3, realized how bleak the cauldron filling state cultivator he was fighting with was. He had means that were indefensible. He roared and spat many mouthfuls of blood, and Shadowless was instantly forced out. At the same time, a few huge explosions sounded. The 9 skulls blocking the lightning sword and the golden dragon drill completely shattered. The explosion sent Tang Yi flying more than 1,000 meters, and his golden dragon drill was also blasted away. The explosion sent Tang Yi flying more than 1,000 meters, and his golden dragon drill was also blasted away. Yi Mo had the octagonal cauldron and was in a better state, but even so, he spat a mouthful of blood from the concussion. That disaster transformation state, level 3, instantly wanted to get away and didn't even have time to take back his soul-devouring flag and flying sword. He knew this was his only chance of escape. But how could Yi Mo let him get away? He hacked with Zisu, and the long ray instantly came before the disaster transformation state cultivator. His face changed. He didn't expect Yi Mo's octagonal cauldron to be so tough. The self-destruction of his 9 skulls didn't even force Yi Mo back. Instead, he came at him with such a speed. He didn't even earn half a second for himself. He set up a cultivation essence wall and wanted to take a strike as the price to get away. But his cultivation essence instantly paused again. Shadowless was only a little bit slower than Yi Mo and also counterattacked. Crack! Yi Mo's purple ray sliced through this cultivator's armor like tofu and brought about a bloody mist. That disaster transformation state cultivator looked in disbelief at his body that was hacked open by Yi Mo. He died to a cauldron-filling state without that chance to even run. This was a head-on attack too, not an ambush. Also, he was disaster transformation state level 3. He wasn't even afraid of disaster transformation state middle stage, and now he was killed by a cauldron-filling state cultivator. An essence spirit seeped out, and before it could escape, Shadowless charged over and gulped it down. The essence spirit was completely devoured. Yi Mo took this cultivator's storage ring and magic artifact and just wanted to take back Shadowless, but Shadowless charged towards the essence spirit of the other cultivator. The disaster transformation state level 1, didn't expect his comrade to be killed by Yemo, and he who already had the lower hand was killed by Meng Henan in his shock. His essence spirit didn't escape shadowless either. Meng Henan sighed. You won first indeed. Yemo smiled. Ting helped me. Then Yemo looked back at Tung, who said first, next time, I'm not going to fight a cultivator higher level than me. It's lethal. Bien Fingtel laughed. He knew what Tingy thought. Yemo also fought with disaster, transformation state cultivators, and his cultivation level was lower than them. This made Tang Yi's confidence rise. But he forgot he was Tang Yi, not Yemo Tang Mengrao. Took a cold breath in. Today she witnessed a cauldron-filling state level 6 cultivator kill a disaster transformation state level 3 in a head-on battle. She knew the power of this disaster transformation state level 3 who had hunted her for a few months. He was equivalent to disaster transformation state middle stage. If she didn't see this with her own eyes, she would never believe it. Yemo greets Tang Mengrao Qianbei. Yemo came back to Blue Moon and saluted with his fists. You're Yemo? Which Yemo? I heard the person who got Pill Concoction Hall of Fame #1 was also called Yemo. He created the spirit-weaving pill, Tang Mengrao said. Yemo smiled. That's me. How are you here? Didn't Sean D. say you went to South Peace State? Tang Mengrao looked at Yemo with uncertainty. Yemo could only say, that's right, Wanbei just came back from South Peace State and saw Ming Xai and Qianbei and Marshall's sister Guangwei on the way. Then we came to find you, Qianbei. You crossed the Heartless Sea? Tang Mengrao asked in astonishment. Your only cauldron-filling state. You dare to cross the Heartless Sea? Ming Xian quickly came up and told Tang Mengrao what they did. So you guys went to that coral island to look for me? Tang Mengrao asked gratefully. Ming Xian nodded. Yes, Yemo went to that island to save Qianbei, but Qianbei had already left. Tang Mengrao said gratefully to Yemo, Thank you, Yemo. When I heard you got first in the tournament, you're only foundation establishment state, but in a few years you're actually cauldron filling state level 6. I've seen too many prodigies, but never one as insane as you. Yemo couldn't reply to that. He heard that way too much, but he felt his progress was too slow. He wanted to get into truth, realization state as soon as possible. Tang Mengrao then said, Half a year ago I left that island. I didn't have a good flying magic artifact, so I could only fly on my flying sword to go back to North Far State. On the way I saw those 2 beast cultivators. They saw I was heavily injured, so they wanted to capture me. I fended them off for a few months, but my injuries were getting worse. If I hadn't encountered you guys, I would eventually have died in the Heartless Sea. Yemo saw her chi was in rapid recovery. Clearly Jiling had given her some pills. He was hesitating if he should ask her about North Far State now. Ming Xian looked at Yemo and knew what he was thinking. She looked at Tang Mengrao and asked, Tang Qianbei, Yemo is very worried about the North Far State. I told him a lot of things, but there are some things I don't know. Tang Mengrao looked at Yemo and nodded. Yemo, you're very great. I approve of you more from what I've heard. North Far State still needs your help. I was going to tell you anyways. Tang Mengrao cleared her thoughts and said, You guys must feel very strange as to why Marshall Brother Shan, I, and Lin Zhongtian would fight. I didn't explain to Ming Xan because, even if she knew, there was nothing she could do. To be honest, I owe you, but we can talk about that later. Tang Mengrao turned to Yemo. Yemo, you've been to Pei Chi Island, right? Yemo was shook. Few people knew he went there. He wore a mask at the time. Tang Mengrao knew clearly because people had investigated him. He nodded. That's right. I did go and I bought a Dihua beast core in an auction. Tang Mengrao nodded. The island's #1 Merchant Association's leader AO, Jun Suneo Chilong, was also killed by you, right? Yemo smiled. I wanted to kill that AO Chilong, but he didn't die to me. He was killed by a golden core state level 9 cultivator called Mo Qianli. Mo Qianli? You mean the one who uses Evil Soul Strand, ranked number 3 on North Far State Golden Core States Hall of Fame? Tang Mengrao asked in shock. Yes, that Ao Qilong chased me, but Mo Qianli also followed. Then he killed Ao Qilong, but when he wanted to kill me, I killed him, Yi Mo said calmly. Tang Mengrao said, the reason I know this is because Ao Jun also has a daughter called Ao Qiandai. She's very talented and is hollow spirit state peak stage in her 20s. Not only that, she's the number 1 beauty of North Far State. Yi Mo frowned. He felt Tang Mengrao wouldn't mention a merchant association for no reason. Tang Mengrao sighed. Ao Qiandai is my personal disciple. Qiandai had been cultivating in the sect, and 2 years after Ao Qilong was killed, she learned of this. She was furious and immediately went back to the Ao Chung Merchant Association from the sect. She swore she would get revenge for her brother. So she found out everything about you at the time she was only hollow spirit state level 4. Qiandai had been cultivating in the sect, and 2 years after Ao Qilong was killed, she learned of this. She was furious and immediately went back to the Ao Chung Merchant Association from the sect. She swore she would get revenge for her brother. So she found out everything about you at the time she was only hollow spirit state level 4. Speaking of this, Yimo's eyes went cold. If Ao Qiandai was going to attack MOU, she didn't need to ask people to help. Her hollow spirit state peak stage power was enough. Seeing Yimo's terrifying glance, even though Tang Mengrao was disaster transformation state tertiary stage, she shivered and said immediately, Yimo, sit down first, let me finish. Yimo's eyes calmed down. He knew there was no point in worrying. Tang Mengrao said guiltily, I did this wrong, after she found out her brother's death was related to you. She went to look for trouble at MOU. I knew this, but I didn't stop her. Yimo's eyes went cold. Although he knew power was everything in the cultivation realm, Tang Mengrao being one of the respected masters in North Far State, allowing her disciple to do such a thing made him extremely uncomfortable. Ao Qilong wanted to kill him out of greed, and he failed. Yet Tang Mengrao let his sister seek revenge on MOU. Tang Mengrao seemed to know Yimo was extremely unhappy and didn't dare to look at Yimo's face. She continued, everyone knew MOU was protected by Wang Yu sect, and Wang Yu sect even sent hollow spirit state cultivator Su Jinhu to stay there. Because Qiandai was from our Jade Woman sect, she also joined forces with Wang Yu sect to attack MOU. There was no way MOU could stop the only 2 8-star sects in North Far State. Yimo's face grew colder and colder. He said coldly, I had a deal with Wang Yu sect. They said they would protect MOU, and now instead they helped attack it? Tang Mengrao looked down and said, Qiandia's fiancé is the number 1 prodigy of Wang Yu sect. After Qiandai told him about this, he immediately went to Peihai City and wanted to help Qiandai annihilate MOU. Su Jianha wasn't going to go against the number 1 prodigy of his sect, so he left before they attacked. Yimo's face went ice cold. He completely realized that it was hollow to rely on other people at any time. His 3 spirit recovery pills weren't even as useful as 1 sect member's word from the Jade Woman sect. Yimo's eyes were so cold that even Meng Henan was shook. Yimo had decided that if MOU had been annihilated, he would slaughter Jade Woman sect and Wang Yu sect clean. He wasn't going to let go of Tang Mengrao either. She would need to take the consequences for her actions. Ming Xian shivered, seeing Yimo's face. She had always seen Yimo's nice side and never killing intent this dense. One could see how important the people in MOU were to him. How could Tang Mengrao not feel this? Before Yimo's battle with the disaster transformation state, level 3, she wouldn't care. But now she knew Yimo had the power to annihilate the Jade Woman sect. If he cultivated a few more years, even the 3 masters of North Far State combined wouldn't be enough to take on Yemo. She also felt that everyone on this flying magic artifact all followed Yemo, except for Ming, Xian, and Guangwei. Tang Mengrao cast these thoughts aside and continued. MOU was protected by formations. Qiandai and Yi were hollow spirit, state peak stage, and primary stage respectively, and with a few nascent soul state cultivators from AO Chung Merchant Association, the level 5 formation didn't last long. Where is Qi Ziyu from Peihai City? Yi Mo asked. Tang Mengrao immediately replied. Qi Ziyu was said to have persuaded Qiandai, but was almost killed by her. Qi Ziyu left and didn't dare to help anymore. Yi Mo was shook. He didn't expect Qi Ziyu to be able to do this. But soon he realized that Qi Ziyu was just putting in a word for MOU. He wasn't going to really lose anything. Qi Ziyu knew he went to South Peace State and didn't know when he would come back. He was leaving an alternative path for himself. No matter what, as long as Qi Ziyu didn't attack Yemo, he wasn't going to do anything to him. Without hesitation, that Qiandai was a very arrogant woman. She reminded him of Wind Sai. Both were very beautiful, and both were extremely cocky. Tang Mengrao breathed. At this moment, Ling Zhongtian brought a golden core state level 9 cultivator to MOU. When he saw the AO Chung Merchant Association and their nascent soul state cultivators, he destroyed their Dan Tians without saying anything. Yi Mo rejoiced. He didn't expect Lin Zhongtian to be this helpful. But indeed, no one other than Lin Zhongtian could help MOU at the time. Tang Mengrao sighed. Qiandai and Yi knew Lin Zhongtian. They were shook by his actions. Lin Zhongtian destroyed the 5 nascent soul state cultivators from her father's AO Chung Merchant Association. Her second uncle was amongst them. She cursed at Lin Zhongtian, asking him how he dared attack her people. Lin Zhongtian sneered, saying he also dared to attack her. Tang Mengrao said with greater disappointment, hearing Lin Zhongtian's words. Qiandai cursed and cried, saying he was useless and had watched her get harassed. Yi impulsively killed the golden core state, level 9, brought by Lin Zhongtian. Lin Zhongtian was furious and cursed. Bastard, you dare to kill Li Qishan? I will eat you alive. Hearing this name, Yi Mo soon remembered who it was. When he stole Qi Hong's storage ring and escaped encountering 2 cultivators fighting in the sea. One of them was Li Qishan. He was only golden core state level 8 at the time. He helped Li Qishan kill the golden core state level 9. Li Qishan told him to go back to report that the AO Chung Merchant Association had conspired with spirit beasts and tricked cultivators to go out and then supply golden core state cultivators golden cores to them. Li Qishan was a nice person, and he had given him a middle-grade spirit artifact. He didn't expect such a heroic, hot-blooded cultivator was killed by Yi. Yi Mo immediately detested this Yi extremely. Tang Mengrao sighed. After Lin Zhongtian caught Yi, he was going to kill him on the spot, but Yi said if Lin Zhongtian dared to kill him, his sect leader Shan Di would get revenge. Lin Zhongtian laughed and completely destroyed Yi's Dan Tian. He then said, I know you're the #1 prodigy of Wang Yu's sect, but today I'm going to destroy this prodigy. I won't kill you. I want to see how Shan Di is going to get revenge. I, Lin Zhongtian, am an upright man. I don't fear someone coming for me. Great. Yi Mo clapped his hands. Well done. Kill that bitch Qiandai as well. Tang Mengrao felt a little awkward, but continued. Qiandai saw this, and her face changed. Then, she sent a sound transmission to Lin Zhongtian. I don't know what she said, but when Lin Zhongtian heard this, his face changed, and he grabbed Qiandai, leaving Peihai City. Yi Mo felt this was completely unreasonable. Why would Lin Zhongtian do that? Tang Mengrao nodded. It indeed happened. Ever since he took away Qiandai, there was no more news of them. When Shandi and I rushed to pay High City, he was furious to know Yi's dantian was ruined. He was going to fight with Lin Zhongtian with his life. I was worried they would fight, so I could only follow behind them. Tang Mengrao nodded. It indeed happened. Ever since he took away Qiandai, there was no more news of them. When Shandi and I rushed to pay High City, he was furious to know Yi's dantian was ruined. He was going to fight with Lin Zhongtian with his life. I was worried they would fight, so I could only follow behind them. Shan Di had a tracing spirit beast, and after nearly 4 months they found Lin Zhongtian. Shan Di fought with Lin Zhongtian without saying a word. I found my disciple Ao Qiandai. I told her to come to the side, and then I tried to break up the fight. But Qiandai came crying to me, saying that Lin Zhongtian used her as a cultivation woman and raped her. Even Jiling and Ming Xian didn't believe this, much less Yemo. They had all seen Lin Zhongtian before. There was no way he would rape a girl, but it might really be possible that he used her as a cultivation woman. He was disaster transformation state peak stage, and Qiandai's talent was absurd. Who knew if he would use this girl to break through? My head buzzed at the moment, but I would never believe that he would do such a thing. Qiandai is my disciple, and I know her well. She's a bit arrogant, but she would never lie. I thought Qiandai wanted to use me to help Shan Di teach Lin Zhongtian a lesson, but I felt things were wrong. I asked Lin Zhongtian if he raped her. Tang Mingrao's tone went sad and low. Lin Zhongtian said nothing. I was furious. Lin Zhongtian was a role model for cultivators in North Far State, and yet he did such a thing. A 1,000-year-old cultivator raped a 20-year girl. No matter how much he wanted to reach truth realization state, he can't do such a thing. In my fury, I fought Lin Zhongtian as well. Yemo sighed. He felt there was something strange here, but he didn't know exactly what. Tang Mengrao continued. Then you know what happened. We were all heavily injured. Lin Zhongtian fled with Shandai, and when we traced them again, we had no more clues. Then the beast tide came. The beast tide came too coincidentally. There was the possibility that someone deliberately caused conflict between the 3 cultivators. But according to Tang Mengrao, this was no accident. Yemo frowned. Ao Qiandai had the greatest suspicion for causing all this. If she didn't cry she was being harassed, would kill Li Qishan? There was nothing else he could do as his power was too low compared to Lin Zhongtian. But Ao Qiandai was just an arrogant girl. She was only 20 and spent most of her time cultivating. How could she have such calculations? Yemo frowned. Tang Mengrao thought it was Yemo being disgusted with Qiandai. After all, she was indeed planning to annihilate Mou. Tang Mengrao explained. Actually, casting away Qiandia's actions towards Mou, you can't really blame her for the other things. After all, she's very young, and the things Lin Zhongtian did were also overboard. He destroyed the dantian of the 5 nascent soul state cultivators without asking anything. One of them was her second uncle. Yemo sneered. Tang Qianbei, I'm calling you Qianbei not because I respect you, but because you protected North Far State all these years. To be honest, you don't deserve to be a Qianbei. If it was me instead of Lin Qianbei, I would kill them all. Looking at her bad face, Yemo sneered again. Then I would annihilate the entire Ao Cheng Merchant Association. As for would I destroy his dantian? Keep dreaming. I would kill him straight away. Lin Zhongtian Qianbei is too soft. He let out a sigh. Tang Mingrao's face looked bad. Someone like Lin Zhongtian deserves to be human? If it's because of his contributions to North Far State before, then he can indeed be a Qianbei. But someone like him raped my 20-year-old disciple. Even an animal wouldn't do that. Yemo said in contempt, rape? Did you hear Lin Zhongtian Qianbei say that? If you didn't, then stop saying bullshit. Plus, even if it was rape, who knows if it was your disciple seducing him? Tang Mengrao heard this and got up saying coldly, You, Yemo, you're crossing the line. Qiandia's actions were a bit over the top, but she didn't do any harm to MOU. Why say such things? You had a bad opinion of her, but you don't need to attack a young girl. Lin Zhongtian didn't deny it. How can it be fake? As for killing Yi, you don't need to kill me. If you have the power, go say it to Shandi. Then she moved to go outside. I can't afford to sit in your high-level flying magic artifact. I'll go myself. Your kin are people, but not mine. Yi Mo sat and didn't move. If Tang Mengrao was going to leave, he would open the restriction immediately. He wasn't going to keep such a woman. Ming Xin pulled Tang Mengrao's hands. Tang Qianbei, Yi Mo isn't such a person. You must have a misunderstanding. Sit down first. Blue Moon is a half-immortal artifact. It's very smart. It can reach North Far State in half a month. Tang Mengrao was dazed. She didn't expect Blue Moon was a half-immortal artifact. But she didn't keep leaving anymore. Seeing this, Ming Xian breathed easy and looked carefully at Yi Mo. Yi Mo, I know you wouldn't say such words without reason. Tell us your reasoning. Yi Mo sneered. It's simple. AO Qing Merchant Association conspired with spirit beasts to trick Golden Core State cultivators out into the deep sea and harvest their golden cores. Those cultivators not only need golden core, but also the cultivator's essence blood. I don't know if nascent soul state cultivators have been traded. What? Tang Mengrao looked at Yi Mo in disbelief. Who dared to do that? Was the AO Qing Merchant Association crazy? Moments later she calmed down and looked at Yi Mo. Yi Mo, what right do you have to say this? You went to South Peace State, so how would you know? Yi Mo said coldly, because I saw it with my own eyes. I was collecting herbs on the Heartless Sea, and I saw AO Qing Merchant Association's huge ship. Their elder was reaching nascent soul state. So the ship was parked, and 2 Golden Core State cultivators saw my flying spirit artifact. They wanted to invite me on board, but I rejected. There were hundreds of Golden Core State cultivators on there, all gathered by the AO Qing Merchant Association. A few months later, I saw 2 cultivators fighting on the way back. One of them was a Golden Core State level 8 brought to the deep sea by the AO Qing Merchant Association. The other was a Golden Core State level 8 from AO Qing Merchant Association. They were fighting because the Golden Core State level 8 escaped. He ran from the 100 cultivators traded to the spirit beasts. What? Tang Mengrao knew Yi Mo wouldn't be lying, but she was shocked again. Yi Mo continued. After the Golden Core State level 8 escaped, he was going to bring the news back to North Far State. But he was hunted and had nowhere to go. He met me and wanted me to bring the news back. I'm a lazy person, so I killed the AO Qing Merchant Association's person and told him to bring the news himself. Yi Mo stared at Tang Mengrao and said word by word, That cultivator is called Li Qishan, the one killed by the #1 prodigy of Wang Yu sect. You tell me if I would kill him when I see him? This scum killed Li Qishan, who risked his life to bring back the news. Yet Lin Zhongtian Qian Bei just destroyed his Dan Tian. He went too easy on him. Tang Mengrao heard this and stood up, dazedly murmuring, Wrong, we were all wrong. At this moment, Tang Mengrao realized that regardless of whether Lin Zhongtian raped Ao Qiandai or not, it wasn't important anymore. They were all schemed against. At this moment, Tang Mengrao realized that regardless of whether Lin Zhongtian raped Ao Qiandai or not, it wasn't important anymore. They were all schemed against. AO Qing Merchant Association dared to sell Golden Core State cultivators to spirit beasts. They had become enemies of humanity. Lin Zhongtian could only destroy the 5 cultivators' Dan Tian in such a situation. He was already being very lenient. If it was her, she would kill those 5 nascent soul state cultivators without hesitation and destroy AO Qing Merchant Association completely. No wonder Yi Mo said he would kill EE straight away. The heroic, righteous cultivator Li Qishan was killed by Yi under the provocation of a woman. How could he not be furious? Still, Tang Mengrao felt something was wrong. Did Yi really kill Li Qishan under Qiandia's provocation? Then this would make Lin Zhongtian kill Yi, resulting in her and Shandi attacking Lin Zhongtian? Shandi was only in her 20s. How could she have such schemes? This was impossible. When Shandi was fighting Lin Zhongtian, she said she was raped by him. Then she would fight Lin Zhongtian as well. If this was really calculated, then it was all chained together. Tang Mengrao shook her head. She wouldn't believe this was all a coincidence. The only thing Yi Mo didn't understand was why Lin Zhongtian didn't defend himself when Ao Qiandai said he raped her. Why did he take her away at the last moment? There was no way a disaster, transformation, state, peak stage, cultivator couldn't even control something as insignificant as lust. But he wasn't too sure about the cultivation woman part, as he didn't know Lin Zhongtian that well. Who knew if he went crazy for once to reach truth, realization state? Yi Mo suddenly asked sect leader Tang, when did the marriage between Yi and Ao Qiandai get proposed? Who brought it up? Hearing Yi Mo call her sect leader Tang, she felt a little sad but replied immediately, 10 years ago, I went to Wang Yu sect to find Martial Brother Shandi. Qiandai wanted to go with me no matter what. After we came back, Martial Brother Shandi brought Yi over to propose. I asked Qiandai, and she was fine with it. How old was she 10 years ago? Yi Mo asked. Tang Mengrao answered she was 22. This meant that she reached hollow spirit state, peak stage, at 27. She was indeed a prodigy. Is Yi very handsome? Yi Mo asked. Tang Mengrao shook her head. No, Yi is very average-looking, with a square face and thin eyes. But he's indeed the prodigy of North Far State. Yi Mo sneered. Sect leader Tang also knows of the matters between men and women. You know what young girls and boys love. Tang Mengrao heard this and blushed. She never actually experienced it. She spent most of her time in cultivation. She really didn't know what young girls and boys thought. Yi Mo sneered. Ao Qiandai is said to be #1 beauty in North Far State. It's very normal that Yi came to propose, but I don't believe a 22-year girl wouldn't like a pretty boy. Maybe a few decades later it would be different. But a 22-year-old girl wouldn't care about talent first. Yi Mo stared at Tang Mengrao. So, it doesn't make sense she would agree to the proposal from an average-looking man. I'll ask you another thing. When Ao Qiandai is at Jade Woman sect, does she go home a lot? Tang Mengrao, subconsciously, shook her head. How can you be sure all young girls like pretty boys? Perhaps Qiandai isn't like that. She has been cultivating with me, and although she's a bit arrogant, she's very mature. She uses most of her time to cultivate. Of course, she doesn't have time to go home. Yi Mo said plainly she's mature, but Tang Qianbei you aren't. There's no way that she wouldn't miss home at such a young age. She doesn't have much contact with home. Her brother died for a few years, and she wasn't furious. Why did she become furious after a few years? Of course, we can understand that, as she didn't know at the time. But she's a hollow spirit state peak stage, and Jade Woman sect is an 8-star sect, so she could easily find a few hollow spirit state cultivators to go with her. Why did she call up Yi? Yi Mo waved his hand, seeing Tang Mengrao was about to say something. Don't tell me that MOU had Wang Yu sect's cultivators guarding. Even if she didn't invite Yi, do you think the Wang Yu sect cultivators would help MOU? Tang Mengrao shook her head. No. Tang Mengrao Niamo was suspicious of Qiandai, but she couldn't help but try to explain. She was only 22 10 years ago. If she could get along well with Yi, why couldn't it have been due to something other than looks? Plus, when they went to get revenge against MOU, Qiandai isn't a god. How would she know that Lin Zhongtian would go to Pei High City at this time? You overestimate her. She's only a girl in her 20s, and she's only in her 30s now. Yemo said calmly. I didn't say it's definitely her, but she is the most suspicious. She's not a god, but after she annihilated Mo, she could have stayed there and waited for Lin Zhongtian. As long as Lin Zhongtian went to Peihai City and saw her, I think she would have a way to agitate Lin Zhongtian to kill Yi. This time, Tang Mangrao didn't rebuke him. She knew Yi Mo was very reasonable with that. Thinking about this, Tang Mangrao actually began to believe Yi Mo's words. But the innocent Ao Qiandai was said to be a very calculated person by Yi Mo. Tang Mangrao not only didn't believe this, but also revoked the Nothion. Mang Henan said, Sister Tang, I feel Marshal Brother Yi has some reason to his words. Many girls' schemes aren't based on age. Sometimes young girls can also be very calculated. Ao Qiandia's actions have holes in them. If she really cared about her family, she wouldn't know of her brother's death only a few years later. Even if she didn't know, there was no way her father wouldn't tell her. Is it very hard to send news into the Jade Woman sect? If not, this is very suspicious. Tang Mangrao heard this and was shook. It was all too easy for the Ao Chung Merchant Association to send news into the Jade Woman sect. Plus, Qiandai was the prodigy of the sect who would dare to hide news of her family from her. Mang Henan said again, If Ao Qiandai really caused this, I suspect that the news of Li Qishan finding Lin Zhongtian Qian Bei already fell in her ears, so she went to Peihai City first. Tang Mangrao felt more uncomfortable hearing this. If this was all true, then they were the culprits for the attack on Peihai City and Broken Leaf City. Yi Mo asked, sect leader Tang, a few years ago during the Beast Tide, you left with a heavy injury, and a powerful being came to Peihai City. Did that powerful being stop the spirit beast attack? Who is he, and what's his power level? Tang Mangrao replied, Yes, that cultivator is also a disaster, transformation state cultivator. His power is on par with mine. On the surface, there are only 3 disaster, transformation state, tertiary stage cultivators in North Far State, but there are some that hiding in cultivation. Even during the beast tides, they usually don't come out. Do you think that cultivator would be able to protect Peihai City? Yi Mo asked. Tang Mangrao shook her head. I don't know, I also was thinking about this. I think he probably can. Yi Mo knew there was no point in asking further, and could only speed Blue Moon up as much as possible. Ming Xian could see the worry in Yimo's eyes, and she suddenly said, With Blue Moon's speed we can reach North Far State in half a month. Ming Xian could see the worry in Yimo's eyes, and she suddenly said, With Blue Moon's speed we can reach North Far State in half a month. Yi Mo immediately got up. I'm going to cultivate for half a month. Hopefully I can reach Cauldron Filling State tertiary stage. Seeing this, Tang Mangrao and Ming Xian and Guang Wei looked at each other. Reaching Cauldron Filling State tertiary stage from Cauldron Filling State level 6 in half a month? This was too absurd, but the other people didn't seem surprised. After a long while, Tang Mangrao looked at Ji Ling in confusion. Ji Qianbei, Yimo's talent has indeed never seen before, but breaking through to Cauldron Filling State tertiary stage in half a month. This seems... Ji Ling laughed. I won't believe other people, but I wouldn't doubt anything happening to Brother Yemo. Even if he says he can break through to disaster transformation state in half a month, I don't believe that's impossible. Hearing this, Tang Mangrao and them were speechless. Yemo thought he might need to face high-level spirit beasts or Shandi after he reached North Far State. He might be no match for Shandi even if he reached Cauldron Filling State tertiary stage, but it was better for him the more powerful he was. After going into the Golden Page world, Yemo was prepared to use the extreme grade spirit range. He could use extreme grade spirit stones, but it wouldn't make the time formation disk run that fast. This meant the time formation disk wouldn't reach 12 times speed on extreme grade spirit stones. 13 days passed quickly, and Yi Mo stopped cultivation. In 4 months or so, he used large amounts of cauldron essence pills and stalagmite benefit pills and barely reached cauldron filling state level 7. Reaching cauldron filling state tertiary stage, Yi Mo felt a drastic increase in cultivation essence. His spirit sense increased, and his understanding of domains also deepened. The reason Yi Mo stopped was because he wasted too many things. If these things were given to someone else, they might even be able to reach disaster transformation state from Qi gathering, but he wasted that in 4 months. Coming out of the golden page world, Yi Mo felt Blue Moon slow. He came to the front. Tang Mangrao looked at Yi Mo in shock. You really just used 2 weeks to reach cauldron filling state level 7? Yi Mo nodded and looked at the island outside in shock. We're already at Pei Chi Island. Why is it like this? Yi Mo had been here once before. This was a rather prosperous place, and he bought the Dihua beast core here. But now, this place was in shambles and ruins. There were no human cultivators and hardly any spirit beasts either. This is North Far State. After this island is Peihai City. This island was swept clean in the beast tide. There are no cultivators here anymore. In the past, the island would have been rebuilt soon after the beast tide. But now this still hasn't been rebuilt, meaning the beast tide isn't over, Ming Xan replied. Yi Mo sped up Blue Moon, and in just 15 minutes, Peihai City appeared before them. A bloody smell lingered in the air. The formations around Peihai City were tattered, but not shattered. Yi Mo could tell by the marks that there were masters repairing them. Yi Mo and the other spirit senses couldn't reach inside due to the formations and restrictions. There were a lot of spirit beasts surrounding the city, but they didn't attack. The city door was covered in blood and broken magic artifacts, but there were no bodies. Yi Mo breathed easy. At least the city wasn't broken now. He was a level 9 formation grandmaster. He could tell that the Peihai City had lasted a few years. Even if they didn't come, the city could last another half a year, but it was hard to say beyond that. Martial brother, Yi Mo, this city hasn't been broken in yet. Guang Wei exclaimed. She knew Yi Mo was worried about the city. Ming Xian nodded. It's more ruined than before. If we didn't come, it might not last more than a few months. Yi Mo agreed and scanned his spirit sense out. There were a lot of spirit beasts here, but not a lot of high-level ones. There were only 2 disaster, transformation state, middle stage beast cultivators, and more than 10 cauldron filling states who were level 9 beasts. The rest were below level 9. There was a difference between spirit beasts and beast cultivators. Other than rare, powerful spirit beasts, most spirit beasts would have a divine damnation to morph into humans at level 9 peak to become beast cultivators. Spirit beasts that cultivated to level 11 and 12 but still retained their spirit beast bodies were more powerful than beast cultivators of the same level. With the power of this beast tide, it wasn't even enough to take on an 8-star sect in South P State, but in the North Far State, it was enough to take on more than half the state. Yi Mo felt a little easier, but seeing the Skylock formation outside the city, his mood worsened. The Skylock formation could lock the nearby space, making teleportation formation useless. The spirit beasts and beast cultivators set this up to stop Peihai City's cultivators from escaping. Yi Mo left a safe passage for MOU's people, and that was the teleportation formation. Now that the space was locked, the teleportation formation would be useless. Blue Moon came outside the city immediately, and those spirit beast noticed Blue Moon's arrival. The 2 disaster transformation state beast cultivators signaled the spirit beasts to keep attacking the city while they flew towards Blue Moon. The Peihai City cultivators released their magic artifacts and used formations to defend against the attack. Explosions sounded all over the city again, and blood flew through the air. Every time cultivators or spirit beasts were killed, more would take their place. Yi Mo's spirit sense immediately scanned to Li Jingwen. He was nascent soul state level 3 now and fended off spirit beasts in one corner with a few cultivators wearing Mo Yu's uniform. Then he noticed Yi Ling and Zhen Shaoshan behind him. He felt a little warm. Yi Ling wasn't as timid and soft as before. She was decisive in killing and was golden core state power. Their use of cultivation essence and spirit sense was very fluent. Yi Mo sighed. Trouble made people grow. Yi Ling would be fine roaming North Far State herself now. Seeing the 2 disaster transformation state beast cultivators come, Yi Mo glanced at Tang Mengrao. Sect leader Tang, I'll leave one of them to you? Tang Mengrao nodded. Ji Qianbei's pills are very good. My wounds are completely healed. Jai Ling nodded. I'll take the remaining one. Meng Henan looked at Yi Mo. What about me? Yi Mo pointed at those level 9 spirit beasts. You can take on those with Air Taa, Tang, and Ming Xin and also man the ship. Tang immediately felt unhappy. Yi Mo, are you not letting me fight because I'm beast cultivator? I kill spirit beasts every day in the Heartless Sea. How can I watch? Air Taa, let's fight. Otherwise we'll have nothing left if Yi Mo goes in. Then Tang Yi released his golden dragon drill and charged into the spirit beast crowd. Bian Fengta followed too. The 2 disaster transformation state beast cultivators saw Jiling's disaster transformation state peak stage power and were shocked. Who other than Lin Zhongtian and Shan Di in North Far State had such power? As for Tang Mengrao, they had also recognized her. They immediately realized this was Tang Mengrao's helper. With the help of such masters, numbers were pointless. But before they could order the beast tide to retreat, Jiling and Tang Mengrao released their magic artifacts. Yi Mo didn't go help right now. He was flying to the outskirts and taking out formation flags and spirit stones to set up formations. Yi Mo hated these beasts' tides that came once in a few years, so he was going to end their roots. The spirit beasts that came here were high-level, low-level spirit beasts wouldn't participate in beast tides. Now he set up a level 7 trap formation so he could net them all. Even if there was another beast tide, it would be a few hundred years later. Yi Mo didn't go help right now. He was flying to the outskirts and taking out formation flags and spirit stones to set up formations. Yi Mo hated these beasts' tides that came once in a few years, so he was going to end their roots. The spirit beasts that came here were high-level, low-level spirit beasts wouldn't participate in beast tides. Now he set up a level 7 trap formation so he could net them all. Even if there was another beast tide, it would be a few hundred years later. It was really no pressure for Yi Mo to set up a level 7 formation now. At this moment, on the city wall, many cultivators saw a flying magic artifact and a few cultivators coming out of it. But the main thing was they came to help the city. More cultivators came to help. The city had been trapped for a few years, and cultivators came to help incessantly these few years. But most of them were flooded by the beast tide before they even reached the city gates. Some who made it instead needed cultivators from inside the city to help. Every time the cultivators who went to help would be trapped, and that cultivator would be lost too. Thus, the Peihai city didn't expect cultivators to help anymore. For this reason, Yi Mo's group's arrival didn't cause much joy, but instead made the cultivators feel helpless. Soon, some cultivators found that the cultivators who came to help were different this time. One golden core state cultivator pointed at Tang Mengrao and called out, "Everyone look, isn't that jade woman Sex Tang Qianbei?" Most cultivators, indeed, saw Tang Mengrao had come back. Then they saw Jiling, who fought with another disaster transformation state beast cultivator, and Meng Henan, who easily killed cauldron-filling state cultivators, as well as Tung and Er Tae, who slaughtered level 8 spirit beasts. Soon, the cultivators realized that the reinforcements this time were very substantial. Instantly, Peihai City rejoiced, and more cultivators helped kill spirit beasts. One disaster transformation state middle stage cultivator also flew out from the city and protected a cauldron-filling state cultivator to repair the city defense formations. With this, the cultivators' morale raised, and the battle wasn't one-sided anymore. Yi Ling also saw the reinforcements, but soon she stared straight at Yemo, who was setting up formation. A level 5 spirit beast shot out a water arrow, and she even forgot to block it. Zhen Xiaoshan quickly helped her and pulled Yi Ling. Yi Ling, we have reinforcements, but we can't lower our guard. What's wrong? Yi Ling murmured. That's my brother Yemo. He's back. He's really back. Zhen Xiaoshan's spirit sense also saw Yemo. It was indeed Brother Yi. She also exclaimed joyfully, It's real. Brother Yi is back. Li Jingwen and them also saw Yemo now and were overjoyed. Yi Ling was immediately about to charge out, but Zhen Xiaoshan quickly pulled her back. There are so many spirit beasts outside. For those lower than body condensation state, going out is suicide. Your brother can easily move about the countless spirit beasts. Clearly, he's body condensation state. He's so fast in cultivation. Look, Tang Mengrao Qianbei is back too. As long as we hold out here, the city will be fine. Brother, you will enter the city too. Yi Ling heard this and calmed down a little, but she was still very excited. At this moment, all the cultivators felt some change in the entire space. Some low-level cultivators didn't notice, but high-level cultivators and spirit beasts noticed this. Ji Ling also saw that Yemo had set up a level 7 trap formation, and the formation had closed. Ji Ling was dazed, but immediately realized what Yemo was doing. He wanted to kill all the spirit beasts. But Ji Ling didn't understand. Yemo was strong, but it wasn't a good idea to trap all these spirit beasts, despite a lot of them being low level. He only had a slight upper hand against the beast cultivator he was battling, and this was mainly because his body was just rebuilt and his essence spirit wasn't completely in unison with the body. As for Tang Mengrao, she only had a slight upper hand too, as her cultivation essence hadn't completely recovered yet. However, Meng Henan, Tang Yi, and Bian Fingtao were utterly crushing their opponents without any pressure. Just when Ji Ling wanted to remind Yemo to open a hole to prevent the spirit beast from kamikaze attacks, Yemo jumped into the beast tide and raised his hands. Moments later, the place Yemo stood grew dark, and there was the roar of thunder. Countless fine lightning swords were released by Yemo, raining from the sky like heavy rain. Yemo's lightning sword was in initial completion. The lightning arcs were thicker than infant arms. His lightning sword not only had formation power, but also space confinement. This was no different than divine damnation. His lightning sword was divine damnation itself. But Yemo wasn't going to use baby arm-sized lightning arcs for these low-level spirit beasts. It was a waste. He separated one lightning sword into more than 10. Despite this, its power was devastating. It was just a little taxing on spirit sense, but Yemo had a lot of spirit recovery pills. He wasn't afraid of spirit sense depletion. It was a lightning sword rain, black lightning sword rain. More than 300 arcs were sent out that covered a radius of 50 meters. The lightning swords flashed nonstop in never-ending fashion. The spirit beasts caught in this area were instantly wiped clean. This formed an empty space amongst the beast tide. Blood and burnt smells filled the place. The area outside the city had become a carnage realm. This scene shocked all the cultivators and spirit beast. Since when had they seen such terrifying magic? This wasn't magic at all. This was divine punishment. Rumble, endless black lightning swords rained down, and large areas of spirit beasts were harvested away. The living beings who still fought stopped. They had never seen such a terrifying scene. The spirit beasts dissipated in large areas. In just half a minute, the insides and outsides of the city were in complete chaos. Some low-level spirit beasts didn't know what was going on and thought there was a natural disaster. They all ran away. It was pointless even when high-level spirit beasts tried to stop them. Tang Mangrao was dazed. She knew Yemo was lightning style, but she had never thought his lightning style magic was this devastating. This dense beast tide wasn't even enough for him to slaughter. If such a terrifying lightning cultivator was going to annihilate Jade Woman's sect. Tang Mangrao didn't dare to keep imagining. Ji Ling and Meng Henan also shook their heads in shock. The Pei High City cultivators even felt sorry for these spirit beasts now. Such terrifying magic. The only disaster transformation state cultivator in Pei High City completely forgot what he was doing as he watched Yemo's lightning sword rain slowly down. The cauldron-filling state repairing the formation also stopped. He knew he didn't need to do it anymore. The spirit beasts were like clueless flies trying to ram outside. Plus, with the mountains of spirit beasts the black lightning swords killed, Pei High City was very safe now. The cauldron-filling state repairing the formation also stopped. He knew he didn't need to do it anymore. The spirit beasts were like clueless flies trying to ram outside. Plus, with the mountains of spirit beasts the black lightning swords killed, Pei High City was very safe now. Qi Zi wasn't even able to talk now. He watched in a daze as Yi Mo sprayed out lightning sword rain. After a long while, he woke up and said to the dazed cultivator next to him, "Quick, go tell Song Yangzhu and Su Jingwen from MOU that Master Yi is back." Qi Ziyu breathed easily. Luckily, I did make a mistake before. The spirit beasts were in pandemonium. They had no interest in attacking the city at all. They all just wanted to run outside. However, the area was trapped by Yi Mo's trap formation, and those spirit beasts were all blocked. Yi Mo rained down lightning swords without mercy. Eventually, he seemed to be in the same situation as when he killed metal spine crocodiles in the Herb Valley. He had completely forgotten he was killing spirit beasts. As his lightning sword rained down faster and faster, he even closed his eyes as though he was communicating with the world around him. This time, Yi Mo indeed had another enlightenment. He felt his lightning sword reached a certain level. If he went beyond this level, his lightning sword would be in great completion, and its power would far surpass initial completion. Yi Mo seemed like a machine raining down lightning swords nonstop. At this time, the two disaster transformation state, beast, cultivators, reacted. They knew that if this continued, all the spirit beasts would be dead. They couldn't care about fighting Ji Ling and Tang Mangrao anymore. They charged at Yi Mo together. But how could Ji Ling and Tang Mangrao let the two do as they wished? They stopped the two beast cultivators. The rest of the cauldron-filling state, beast cultivators, and level 9 spirit beasts also felt Yi Mo's threat and wanted to stop him. But how could Meng Henan let that happen? She slaughtered them mercilessly. A few hours later, everyone was watching the direction of the endless lightning sword rain and the countless morning spirit beasts. "Stop! We'll leave Pei High City, stop!" The two disaster transformation state, middle stage, called out worriedly. But Yi Mo couldn't hear them anymore. He had sunk into a peculiar state. He felt the other type of lightning sword's power, lightning state. Yi Mo had never heard of nor seen this state, but he felt it now. He had a feeling that if he completely mastered this state, his lightning sword would be able to do whatever he wanted. He would be able to control the opponent's weakness, using the least effort to reach maximum effect. He also began to realize the meaning of will state. Will state meant two states. The first state was will. It was like his illusion cloud exert will strike. He would control his sword ray with his will to bind someone's movements. Will was very hard to reach, but if you understood it, then you did. It was impossible to teach. Yi Emo thought will state was just will, but now he realized state and will were different. Will was an understanding and control of self. State was understanding and controlling your opponent's weakness. If he completely understood state, then he could casually use his magic and sword techniques to attack the opponent's weakness. One of magic's will state reached a very high level. He could easily counter an opponent's lethal blow and win. It was a great help in fighting people above your level. As lightning sword rained down, Yumo's understanding of state grew. Eventually, he easily threw down lightning sword casually, and large areas of spirit beasts were harvested. He didn't even need to scan with spirit sense to know which position to attack. The two disaster transformation state cultivators grew more and more desperate. One of them was hacked into a bloody mist by Jiling, who got more and more used to his body. Seeing this, the other disaster transformation state beast cultivator knew that this was going to sever the spirit beast's foundation. Despite knowing the severity of the situation, there was nothing he could do. He could only howl and send a messenger flying sword before fleeing. Tang Meng Rao was a disaster transformation state tertiary stage cultivator after all. When this beast cultivator wanted to flee, she found his weakness and sliced off his head. However, his essence, spirit, fled away. Now, there was only Yi Mo fighting and countless spirit beasts that ran around in a frenzy. No one could go help him, as the lightning sword would also kill the cultivators who went near it. But no cultivator worried, as they all knew the beast tide was over. Yi Mo annihilated spirit beasts so fast, but there were just too many spirit beasts. He still hadn't even killed 10% yet. Luckily, the high-level spirit beasts were killed. Tang and Bianfingta and them also helped to kill these low-level spirit beasts, but they weren't nearly as fast as Yi Mo. Broken Leaf City was much more prosperous than Peihai City. Its defense formations were also much higher level. It was a level 9 formation. But now, they also faced countless spirit beasts. The spirit beasts attacking here were much stronger than the ones attacking Peihai City. There were 3 disaster transformation state beast cultivators, 1 disaster transformation state tertiary stage. Although there were much more high-level cultivators here than Peihai City, the situation was worse than that of Peihai City. If it wasn't for a level 9 defense formation, disaster transformation state level 9 Shandi, and a level 8 formation grandmaster, the city would have long been destroyed. At the same time, on an island in the Heartless Sea, a red-haired beast cultivator was standing on a coral looking at the direction of Broken Leaf City. It was the nearest island to the city. There was a female cultivator behind him, and she seemed very gentle. The beast cultivator turned around wanting to say something to the female cultivator, but suddenly a red flying sword flew over. The beast cultivator caught it and took out a jade slip. He looked at it casually, and suddenly his face changed drastically. He immediately charged up into the sky and flew towards the continent. The female cultivator saw that the beast cultivator flew towards North Far State, and her face was also shocked. As soon as he rose into the air, a gray figure stopped him. An old man stood in midair. "Kongyi, is there a point in stopping me? Even if I don't go to Broken Leaf City, it will fall in 2 months. You have a chance to reach higher states. Why trouble yourself with such things?" The red-haired beast cultivator asked calmly. Kongyi said calmly, "As long as the city hasn't fallen for 1 day, then I can't let you go. You also had an agreement with North Far State. Truth realization states must not be involved in the beast tide. But now, why are you going to the North Far State's land?" The beast cultivator said coldly that agreement was many years ago. Now there are no cultivation resources at the border of the Heartless Sea. The place where North Far State beast cultivators stay are also becoming arid in spirit chi. After countless years, only I've reached truth realization state, and I'm only a truth realization state primary stage. If this continues, there will no longer be a place for beast cultivators in the North Far State. I don't ask for much. I just want human cultivators to share equally with beast cultivator the spirit chi arid places in North Far State. Kong Yi said calmly, anywhere in North Far State is arid in spirit chi. If you want a place with good spirit chi, then you can go to West Store State. That's cultivation heaven. Split North Far State equally? Chi xia. I believe you know how West Store State became beast cultivator land. It's because they split land with spirit beasts, and now the human cultivators are living on the outskirts. Chi Jia said coldly, West Store State? Kong Yi, you really can imagine. Do you think we can cross the Heartless Sea to West Store State with our power? Do you want us to die? Plus, is the West Store State a place that spirit beasts can go to? West Store State becoming spirit beast land was countless years ago. Now, even spirit beasts don't dare to venture into the depth of West Store State. Kong Yi said calmly, if I could stop you for 100 years, I can stop you for 1,000 years. As for Broken Leaf City, as long as you don't go, then even if it falls its fate. The red hair beast cultivator was desperate. He suddenly looked at Kong Yi and said, Kong Yi, I'm not going to Broken Leaf City. I have something else to do. Can you move aside? Red-haired beast cultivator said again, Okay, Kong Yi, I'll make the spirit beast leave Broken Leaf City now, and this beast tide will end now. Now will you believe me? Red-haired beast cultivator said again, Okay, Kong Yi, I'll make the spirit beast leave Broken Leaf City now, and this beast tide will end now. Now will you believe me? Kong Yi nodded. Okay, let your spirit beast retreat first. The red-haired beast cultivator immediately sent a messenger flying sword. After that, he looked at Kong Yi. Kong Yi, I've sent the messenger flying sword now. Can I go? The beast cultivator was helpless. It wasn't that he couldn't go, but he didn't dare to make things troublesome with Kong Yi. Kong Ye's power was on par with his. If he didn't follow the agreement, Kong Yi could just attack the spirit beasts and beast cultivators attacking Broken Leaf City. Kong Yi shook his head. It's good that the spirit beasts can leave Broken Leaf City, but according to the agreement, you can't go into North Far State. Kong Yi, you're cheating me? The red-haired beast cultivator's power rose drastically, and a golden sword appeared in his hand. Kong Yi didn't say anything, but a cauldron appeared above his head. Looking at this, the red-haired beast cultivator suppressed his anger and said, Kong Yi, you've been a very honest person. Why are you going back on your words today? Kong Yi replied, I said you could retreat your beast cultivators, but I didn't agree to let you go North Far State. The beast cultivator seemed to know that even if they fought, he won't be able to beat Kong Yi. And even if he could, it wouldn't be fast, so he stopped. A few hours later, countless spirit beasts left Broken Leaf City and went back into the Heartless Sea. Instead, that red-haired beast cultivator went back into THS Heartless Sea as well. Seeing this, Kong Yi frowned, and after a long while he disappeared. 15 minutes later, a disaster transformation state, tertiary stage beast cultivator appeared before the red-haired beast cultivator. He looked at the disaster transformation state beast cultivator and said, Pei High City has encountered an issue I need to go over immediately. Don't fight here. Wait till I come back. Yes, the disaster transformation state, tertiary stage, replied respectfully. The red-haired beast cultivator nodded and took out an instant transmission rune, looking at it for a long while before sighing and activating the rune. This rune had no space ripples, so Kong Yi wouldn't be able to know, but it was just too precious. Even he only had one. It was practically a second life. If he used other space teleportation runes, Kong Yi would immediately know. Outside Pei Hai City, Yemo was slaughtering large amounts of spirit beasts. They kept wanting to break out of Yemo's trap formation, but the area of the lightning sword was getting larger and larger. There were also more injuries as well. If Yi Emo continued this, it would only be half a day before he would slaughter these spirit beasts clean. At this moment, there was a sharp howl, and Yi Emo opened his eyes. He stopped his lightning sword rain as that sharp howl woke him up. He had a new understanding of state, but before he could organize his thoughts, a faint red sword light hacked at Yemo's trap formation. The trap formation that countless spirit beasts couldn't break free from was hacked open. With this, countless spirit beasts rushed out, but that howl sounded again. All the spirit beasts heard this and calmed down. They left Yemo's trap formation in an orderly fashion. Although Yemo slaughtered nearly a third of the spirit beasts himself, there were still countless spirit beasts exiting. Yemo was shook. He knew this howl was made by a truth realization state cultivator. Otherwise, his sword light wouldn't come before himself. As soon as Yemo had this thought, the red-haired cultivator appeared before Yemo. Yemo's eyes jumped rapidly. It was a truth realization state, level 2 beast cultivator. Husband. Yemo. Two crisp voices sounded. Yemo immediately knew they belonged to Yanzhu and Jingwen. His heart rested easy. At least they were fine. But Yemo didn't turn back. He was very calm facing this truth realization state cultivator. He knew if he was killed by this truth realization state beast cultivator, Pei Hai City would turn to dust. What he didn't understand was why Pei Hai City was trapped for a few years when there was a truth realization state beast cultivator. It was very easy for a truth realization state beast cultivator to annihilate Pei Hai City. If I came later, were you going to kill them all? The red-haired cultivator looked at the ground covered in spirit beast bodies and the burning bloody smell in the air. His tone was extremely furious. Ji Ling and Tang Mengrao, as well as Meng Henan, also stood behind Yemo. They looked vigilantly at this truth realization state, level 2 beast cultivator. There was nothing they could do against a truth realization state beast cultivator. They were also confused why this beast cultivator didn't come earlier. Yemo released Zi-Su and Octagonal Cauldron, saying coldly, "What's your logic? The spirit beasts were attacking Pei Hai City. Can the people not retaliate? Do you think your spirit beasts have more royal blood and can dictate the life and death of other cultivators?" The beast cultivator sneered. "Wan Bei, you're a mere cauldron-filling state, and you dare to be cocky in front of me. Do you believe I can kill you and destroy Pei Hai City before that old guy comes?" Yemo sneered and replied, "If you want to fight, then hurry up." Then he activated his cultivation essence, and ripples of purple formed. "You're bold, you can die then." The truth realization state beast cultivator was furious and just grabbed at Yemo. This wasn't Yemo's first time he fought a truth realization state, but Miao Huizheng was heavily injured, so she was a far cry compared to this truth realization state primary stage. Yemo saw the cultivation essence giant hand, and an extreme sense of dissatisfaction rose up. This guy wanted to crush him to death with his hand just because he had stronger power. The truth realization state from Infinity sect did the same in the Black Ice sect. In his fury, Yemo just hacked out with Zi-Su. Illusion Cloud Hua Mountain Strike. Rumble, the purple ray hacked on the cultivation essence giant hand and made 2 heavy thuds. Cultivation essence splashed out. Space itself made cracking sounds as though collapsing under the force of the clash. Meanwhile, Yemo was sent flying kilometers away by this. He spat blood in midair. Yemo's heart sunk. Although he was cauldron-filling state tertiary stage, he was instantly defeated by the truth realization state. He knew from that clash that even if he used all his means, he wouldn't be able to take on this beast cultivator. Ji Ling and Tang Mingrao's face changed. They retreated. Even they couldn't deal with this space collapse. Ji Ling was worried the most. He couldn't even take on truth realization state cultivator strike before. How could Yemo do it? The truth realization state beast cultivator saw that Yemo hacked his cultivation essence giant hand apart and just paid the price of spitting blood and was shocked. But immediately, the truth realization state beast cultivator sneered and raised his hand. A faint red appeared in his hand that turned into two sharp rays hacking towards Yemo. As soon as it was hacked out, it seemed to have locked everything around Yemo. Yet in the wake of such a powerful attack, Yemo didn't retreat and went in instead, hacking out with Zissou. Seeing this, everyone's face changed. Yemo hacked in the completely wrong direction. Yemo wasn't trying to suicide, of course. This strike was illusion cloud domain shattering strike. It would shatter the opponent's domain and form his own. Yemo wasn't trying to suicide, of course. This strike was illusion cloud domain shattering strike. It would shatter the opponent's domain and form his own. He didn't know where this beast cultivator's domain was, but he had an understanding of the basic state. This strike wasn't charged at the sword light, but the weakness in the domain. The beast cultivator saw this and snarled. A mere cauldron-filling state cultivator dared to fight a truth realization state cultivator? When his sword went into his domain, he would know there was nothing he could do but await death. But soon his snarl condensed. He found that Yemo's purple sword rays had gone into his domain, but didn't slow down one bit. Instead, they spread out, forming a purple veil. Then it seemed something was beginning to shatter. What was going on? His domain couldn't bind the strike? The next moment, the truth realization state beast cultivator was more shocked. His sword was beginning to slow down and lost the support of his domain. The beast cultivator immediately realized what was going on. This was domain as well. This cauldron-filling state insect had his own domain. It was a domain in initial completion. That wasn't all. His strike not only shattered his domain, but also bound his sword. How did he know the weakness in his domain? Only the cultivator himself would know the weakness of his domain, and yet this cauldron-filling state knew the weakness in his domain and used that to counterattack. Was that random, or did he really know? The truth realization state beast cultivator was furious and didn't hold back anymore. He used tens of hand signs. Waves of twisted air were sent out. Yemo's purple sword rays broke the domain, but were still blocked by this twisted cultivation essence waves. Soon, the purple withered and dissipated. The beast cultivator's strike was still rapid without the support of his domain, and two waves of red hacked onto the octagonal cauldron. With some rumbling sounds, the octagonal cauldron shook, and Yemo was sent flying and spitting blood again. Yemo sighed. Despite having an understanding of state, the difference in power was too great. Seeing Yemo fly out spitting blood again, Song Yangzhu and Yi Ling and them screamed. Ji Ling and Tang Mengrao breathed easy. Yemo didn't get killed in that domain. They were both more shocked at Yemo's power. He was facing a truth realization state cultivator. Yemo was just a cauldron-filling state, tertiary stage. Even if they went up, there was nothing they could do but await death. They were sure that if Yemo reached truth realization state, he would have no enemies in the entire Luoyu continent. But how was he going to live through the calamity today? The truth realization state beast cultivator sneered. You have some tricks, but this ends now. But as soon as he said that, his face changed and sneered in midair. Don't let me see you again. Then he just left. Everyone didn't understand why this beast cultivator suddenly left when he had the complete upper hand. But everyone breathed easy. Seeing this, Yemo also sneered, thinking, I should be the one to say that. Suddenly, he felt a wave in the air. He looked over immediately and heard a voice. Yemo, you're very great. In a few years' time, you've come this far. The 100-year deal can be shortened to half. Hearing this voice, Yemo was shook. He knew who this person was. It was Kong Yi. Kong Yi could scare off that beast cultivator. Clearly he was a truth realization state cultivator too. Yemo never expected the low-profile Kong Yi was the real #1 power in North Far State. He thought Kong Yi wasn't as strong as Lin Zhongtian before, but now it seems he was greatly mistaken. He bowed in midair and didn't say anything. He had a deal with Kong Yi, but now he was cauldron filling state, tertiary stage, and Kong Yi just shortened the time to half. One could see how much hope Kong Yi had for him when he made the deal. Yemo thought of the moment when he first saw old man Kong Yi in Broken Leaf City. His care and support for him made Yemo feel very warm at heart. Probably no one in North Far State expected Kong Yi was truth realization state. Kong Yi didn't appear, clearly not wanting others to know his identity. Yemo also realized why the truth realization state beast cultivator didn't attack himself. There was also a truth realization state cultivator guarding North Far State. The spirit beasts all left, and the entire Peihai city rejoiced. Yi Ling and them couldn't resist and ran towards Yemo. They thought they would be able to see Yemo in 3 years, but multiple times the duration had gone by. Yi Ling ran into Yemo's arms. Song Yangzhu and Su Jingwen didn't talk, but the longing and softness in their eyes nearly melted Yemo. Su Jingwen grabbed Yemo's hand. She had been cultivating non-stop, just so she could be with Yemo, and so she could go back and visit her mother. If that couldn't be realized, what was the point of cultivating to the peak for her? If it wasn't for the company of Yi Ling and Song Yangzhu, they would have collapsed. She really couldn't get used to this endless cultivation. She didn't like how lives were worthless in the cultivation realm. Now that she saw Yemo again, she had 1,000 things to say, but where should she begin? Yemo grabbed her hand. Jingwen, you're already nascent soul state, middle stage. Su Jingwen interrupted and said firmly, Yemo, let's be together no matter where you go. I will follow. I can't bear this waiting anymore. I don't care about cultivation level. I just want to be with you. I just want to visit Ninghai. I'm scared here. She was brave at the start of the sentence, but couldn't finish it. She who never killed had to spirit beasts every day. She remembered the first time she killed a spirit beast. She kept vomiting nonstop. She was really tired of this life. Okay, we'll go back and be together forever. Yemo pulled Su Jingwen and then pulled Song Yangzhu. Yangzhu, I came back to North Far State this time to take you guys with me. Don't worry, I will find Yemo and we'll go to South Peace State together. Qingxue, Susu and Bei Wei are all there. Song Yangzhu could control her emotions a little more. Due to this family reunion, everyone moved to the side. Seeing the 3 girls calm down, Yemo brought them to Jiling and them, introducing them. Jiling smiled. I already know. When I came to Peihai City, they were all here but you. Meng Henan smiled. Martial brother Ye's 2 wives are both extreme rare beauties in the world. His sister is also very beautiful. Sister Tang, can your disciple Qiandai be more pretty than Jingwen? It was Tang Mingrao's first time seeing Su Jingwen, and she was also shocked at her beauty. Her beauty was innate and far from the gloating and arrogant beauty of Qiandai, but she still felt her disciple was prettier than Su Jingwen. Before they went into the city, Chizu rushed up and saluted with his fists. Sect leader Yi, luckily we have you. Otherwise the city wouldn't last long. It's the city's honor that MOU can stay here. Then He saluted to Tang Meng Rao, and Ji Ling smiled and waved. He was disaster, transformation state, but never showed an attitude. Many cultivators who came with Ji Ling before were contemptuous to talk to Qi Ziyu. Yi Mo waved his hand. City Lord Qi, you're too polite. Let's go in first. The cultivators started repairing the city and clearing the battlefield. Other than a few spirit beasts, most of the spirit beasts didn't even have a beast core left. Yi Mo suddenly thought cultivator who guarded Pei Hai City for 5 years. He was very grateful to this cultivator. City Lord Qi, I heard a disaster transformation state. Qian Bei defended Pei Hai City for 5 years. Where is that Qian Bei? Qi Ziyu also remembered and asked the cultivator on the side, Yeah, where is Yu Qian Bei? Qi Ziyu also remembered and asked the cultivator on the side, Yeah, where is Yu Qian Bei? The cultivators looked at each other. Clearly no one knew where Yu Qian Bei went. Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense out. He had seen the disaster transformation state cultivator when he first arrived, but he couldn't see him now. However, he saw that formation repairing cauldron, filling state, cultivator come over. Yi Mo quickly went over and greeted him. Yi Mo greets you, friend. If it wasn't for your help, the city would be done for. The cauldron filling state laughed. Brother Yi, you're too polite. I've long heard of sect leader, Ye's great name. The prodigy who created the spirit weaving pill. I didn't think you'd be such a prodigy in cultivation too. When you left Pei Hai City, I heard Ziyu say you were golden core state power, but now you're stronger than me. I was shocked when I saw you fight with that truth realization state beast cultivator. If it was me, I wouldn't even last one move before dying. Plus, Brother Ye's formation skills are much higher than mine. From the trap formation you set outside the city, I know your formation skills aren't something I can compare with. Brother Yi, you're indeed the greatest prodigy I've seen. Qi Ziyu explained. Sect leader Li Yifeng is the elder of Formation Forgery sect. If it wasn't for him and that the mysterious Yu Qian Bei, Pei Hai City would have long fallen. Yi Mo quickly said in gratitude. Yumo's family is all in Pei Hai City, and Brother Li helped Pei Hai City, which is the same as helping me. If Brother Li needs any help, Yi Mo will do all he can. Okay, let's go to the City Lord Estate and have a good talk first. But Yudakian Qian Bei doesn't like too many people, so he already left the city when the spirit beasts retreated. Otherwise, it would be great knowing someone like Brother Yi, elderly said. Yi Mo immediately nodded in agreement. He told Yi Ling and them to go back to MOU first, and that he would be back in a bit. In the north far states, all herb mountain ranges, in the innermost part of the place was a cultivation home in a valley. A tall man sighed and got up. He didn't leave the cultivation home, but instead went to another room. There was a very beautiful young girl here. The girl saw the tall man come in and sneered, shutting her eyes. Qiandai, why did you do this? The tall man asked and sighed. The pretty girl still kept her eyes shut. The tall man didn't get an answer for a long while, and shook his head and turned to leave. Suddenly, the girl opened her eyes and said coldly, Lin Zhongtian, put away that savior face. Don't make it seem like you're the savior of North Far State. You're just a shameless hypocrite. Lin Zhongtian turned back and said slowly, Qiandai, I never said I was a savior. I'm just doing what I should be doing. As one of the 3 strongest people in North Far State, I have the responsibility to protect it. Bullshit! Ao Kindy got up suddenly and pointed at Lin Zhongtian, cursing. Lin Zhongtian, don't make yourself sound so great. Who raped a young girl? Who made that girl pregnant? Who cast aside that pregnant girl? Do you know how hard it is for an unmarried girl to bring up a child? Did you know how hard it was for the mother when the child was about to die, but there was nothing she could do? Lin Zhongtian, how do you have the face to talk about responsibility and protection? Ao Qiandai was so agitated that her body was shaking. Lin Zhongtian, in order to find you, I cultivated like crazy. But when I was struggling for cultivation resources, where were you? When I was hunted by enemies, where were you? If my essence spirit didn't find that pregnant woman within 45 minutes and stayed on her, managing to survive, there would be no Lu Qiandai in this world. I would just be a dead soul, an extra person. Lin Zhongtian's face looked more and more guilty. His body even became wobbly. He said dejectedly, Qiandai, the person I owe the most to in my life is you. I was young at the time, and I didn't understand a lot of things. I thought pursuing the immortal Tao meant to sever your mortal ties. Later, I realized I was wrong, and I went to find you, but you had already left your home. I know I owe you, Lin Zhongtian continued, but Qiandai, no matter how much you hate me, you can't start the beast tide and set up us three to be injured. You can't let the Ao Qing Merchant Association deal with spirit beasts, feeding cultivator golden core and essence blood to them. The pretty girl who calmed down a little heard this and exploded again. Lin Zhongtian, you think I don't know what you're thinking? You like that Tang Mengrao. Did I make you lose face in front of her when I said you fucked me? If you have the balls, say you didn't fuck me. Say it. Lin Zhongtian's face burst red, but he still replied, Qiandai, don't say that. Tang Mengrao is your master after all. How can you treat her like that? She deserves to be my master. Ao Qiandai looked at Lin Zhongtian coldly. I set up you three to fight each other? If you weren't jealous of Shan Di and Tang Mengrao's relationship, would you fight with your full power when they joined up against you? And that Shan Di, you think he can't tell that I'm still a virgin? How many women has he been with? It's possible Tang Mengrao can't tell, but you think he can't. Bullshit. Lin Zhongtian frowned. He was indeed jealous of Shan Di, but just a little. He didn't think of fighting against Shan Di with his life. But Shan Di was fighting with his life. If he went a little easy, he would die. So he had to fight with his full life. Ao Qiandai continued, I think you're not sad because Shan Di attacked you with full power, but that Tang Mengrao blocked your killing blow for Shan Di. That's your greatest disappointment. Lin Zhongtian suddenly looked a lot older. He looked at Ao Qiandai and said, Qiandai, go. I don't want to see you conspire with spirit beasts again. Leave? Lin Zhongtian, you are actually letting me leave? After you abandoned me, once you want to abandon me again? The beautiful girl started to cry. Qiandai. Lin Zhongtian looked at this young girl and knew her soul was the woman he abandoned at home. But she was only 30 years old now, while he was nearly 1,000 years old. No matter what, the two couldn't get back together again. Ao Qiandai suddenly cried into Lin Zhongtian's arms. Zhongtian, I hate you. How am I not better than that Tang Mengrao? Why do you like her that much? Why don't you like me? I had your child before, and you still treat me like this. Feeling the faint aroma of the young and pretty Ao Qiandai, he suddenly didn't know what to do and murmured, but, Ao Qiandai no longer had the hatred she had before and just sobbed, Zhongtian, I miss our child. I owe him. Sorry, Qiandai, Lin Zhongtian patted the girl in his arms and wanted to comfort her. Zhongtian, let's have a child again like many years ago and we can live together. Ao Qiandai looked up with a miserable face that was soft enough to melt the hardest iron. Huh. Lin Zhongtian was dazed, but before he spoke, his face changed suddenly. He waved his hand, and Ao Qiandai flew out, crashing onto the wall and spitting blood. Lin Zhongtian also spat a few mouthfuls of blood. He looked coldly at Ao Qiandai and said, You're not Qiandai. You're not Li Qiandai nor Ao Qiandai. Who are you? Ao Qiandai sneered and wiped the blood from her mouth, looking coldly at Lin Zhongtian. It's not important who I am. What's important is that there will never be a Lin Zhongtian in this world again. Oh, perhaps one Lin Zhongtian, but he'll be my dog. Lin Zhongtian laughed. There's only a living Lin Zhongtian or a dead Lin Zhongtian in this world. No Lin Zhongtian that's a dog. Bitch, I was blind to think that the person I loved the most would become as cruel as you. I just realized today you're a cauldron-filling state cultivator. But Tang Meng Rao didn't know her disciple was a venomous snake hiding in the Jade Woman sect for many years. He looked at her and said word by word, "You, what do you want to do?" Ao Qiandai looked at Lin Zhongtian in contempt. "What I want to do? Pity you won't know. I won't let you know. You need to have the resolve of being a dog." Lin Zhongtian released his magic artifact and looked coldly at her. "You think destroying my Dantian will let you kill me for sure? I just want to ask you one thing. Where is Qiandai? How do you know every tine in her heart?" Ao Qiandai sneered and threw a red rune over. She knew that despite Lin Zhongtian's injury and destruction of his Dantian, his disaster transformation state peak stage power was much stronger than her cauldron-filling state tertiary stage power. She need to be careful. Ao Qiandai sneered and threw a red rune over. She knew that despite Lin Zhongtian's injury and destruction of his Dantian, his disaster transformation state peak stage power was much stronger than her cauldron-filling state tertiary stage power. She need to be careful. The red rune exploded around Lin Zhongtian, and most of the explosion wave struck the stone wall. Lin Zhongtian's shield just blocked a small part of the explosion, and he spat mouthfuls of blood again. Lin Zhongtian sighed. He knew he probably wouldn't make it today. He wanted to self-destruct his essence, spirit, while he could, but he felt the earth below him shake as though the entire mountain range was shaking. Ao Qiandai scanned with spirit sense, but she found she couldn't scan out her spirit sense at all. Her face changed, and she immediately released a pink soul-catching bell, attacking at Lin Zhongtian. Lin Zhongtian would rather die than let this woman capture him. So, when she attacked with the ball, he also released the shield to protect him. He needed time to self-destruct. Although his Dantian was destroyed, he had some self-defense for a short while. With a clank, Lin Zhongtian's spirit sense went heavy as though something was breaking out of his body. He quickly burned some essence blood. Rumble the sound outside was getting louder. Ao Qiandai looked at Lin Zhongtian and didn't attack. Instead, she released a dark gray rune. The rune formed a rippled, like ring around her. Then Ao Qiandai disappeared. Lin Zhongtian could tell it was a space transmission rune. Ao Qiandai really had a lot of good stuff. Lin Zhongtian knew he couldn't get away. Even if he had such high-level rune, he wouldn't be able to use it since his Dantian was shattered. He looked at the direction she disappeared and sighed. He knew that Ao Qiandai must have been possessed. The soul possessing her must be a cruel person, probably a beast cultivator. But with her power and calculations, there was no way she would be interested in golden core state trading. Her goal must be something else. Suddenly, Lin Zhongtian felt the ground below him go empty, and the place he was at cracked open. Lin Zhongtian shook his head and didn't resist. For a cultivator with a shattered Dantian, there was no point in living. At this moment in the city lord estate, there was Yi Mo Jiling Tang Meng Rao Ming Xan for cauldron-filling state, cultivators of Pei Hai City, City Lord Chiziu and elderly. Yi Mo also simply talked about the South P State, but he was asking more about the Pei Hai City. Chiziu told him that the Ao Chung Merchant Association disappeared before the beast tide came. The disaster transformation state cultivator who came was called Eudakian. Most of the time, Eudakian was protecting Elder Li in repairing the formations. Otherwise, even with Eudakian, the city would have long fallen. Yi Mo got up gratefully and saluted with his fists. "Brother Li, I won't say much besides thanking you. Without you, the Pei Hai City would have fallen a few years ago. I'll be staying here for a while, then going back to South P State. When I leave, I want to visit you at Formation Forgery Sect." Li Qianni heard this and quickly said, I will gladly welcome you. Jiling Qianbei came to set up a level 9 formation for the city. I also want to study it. Perhaps when you leave, I will still be at Peihai City. Another messenger, flying, sword landed on his hand. He opened it and exclaimed, Broken Leaf Cities, Beast Tide, also retreated. Great, there probably won't be another one in 100 years. Everyone was very happy, but Tang Mengrao got up and said, Yemo, thanks for saving my life this time. I know you have a bad opinion of me. No matter when I see Brother Lin Zhongtian, I will apologize to him. The beast tide is gone, and I will return to my sect. Ming Xian also got up and bade farewell. She said she would come back and thank Yi Mo after she settled the matters of her sect. Yi Mo also wanted to go back to MOU and got up and said goodbye. However, Ji Ling stayed at the city lord estate to discuss setting up the formation for the city. When Yi Mo got back to MOU, Song Yangzhu and them were already impatient. Yi Mo saw Li Yuqian, Li Jingwen, Zhen Shaoshan, Suyu, Sheng Yizhong were all here and finally breathed easy. Li Yuqian was nascent soul state, tertiary stage, and Song Yangzhu and Yi Ling were golden core state peak stage. Su Jingwen was the fastest, she was nascent soul state middle stage. The people gathered, all talking about their own situation. Yi Mo also knew that after he left, the Black and White Pill Kings came to Peihai City, but were sent off by Su Jinhu. He didn't really know how they knew about his heaven flame, but he wasn't afraid of two mere hollow spirit state cultivators. Yi Mo simply introduced the situation at South P State and said, I came back to bring you guys to South P State, but we have a MOU here too. If anyone wants to stay, I will hand MOU over to him to manage. If no one wants to stay, then we'll all go to MOU City in South P State together. Everyone fell silent. Clearly no one wanted to stay. Yi Mo saw this and knew everyone wanted to go. South P State. However, Li Jingwen got up and said, Sect leader, I'm willing to stay here. When MOU grows, we must have our ground in the North Far State. If it wasn't for sect leader, I would be stuck in Golden Core State my entire life. Now, I'm nascent soul state, I'm very satisfied. Yi Mo knew he was very loyal and felt safe leaving MOU with him. With this, Su Yu also stood up. Sheng Yizhong and I will also stay. I really like this place. There are a lot of cultivation resources for us too. Yi Mo could tell the two had some feelings for each other and agreed. Okay, then you two stay and help Li Jingwen. Don't worry too much. I will set up a teleportation formation at MOU to South Peace State in the future. My formation skills aren't high enough yet, but once I will set up this teleportation formation. Then everyone can come and go easily. Yi Mo felt the interstate teleportation formation took so many cultivation resources with each use, not just because of the distance, but also because there was no high-level formation master. Otherwise, even traveling from Luoyu to Earth wouldn't cost many resources. Yi Mo had 3 birth chant, and he believed he could set this up one day. Hearing this, more people were willing to stay. Yu Qiang was the closet to Li Jingwen and was a level 6 spirit pill master now. He also chose to stay, and so did Zhen Shaoshan after some thought. In the next few days, Yi Mo stayed with Song Yangzhu and Su Jingwen. In the streets of Peihai City, Song Yangzhu and Su Jingwen were walking with Yi Mo slowly. After he came back, Song Yangzhu seemed very happy, but there was still a sliver of worry in her happiness. Yi Mo knew she was worried about Yi Mo. There was no news of Yi Mo ever since she came to North Far State. Don't worry, we'll go back first. I will find Yi Mo no matter what, Yi Mo said. After Peihai City settles, we'll go look for Yi Mo. No matter how big North Far State is, it's not as big as South P State. I have a half-immortal artifact. It won't take much time to go around North Far State a few times. MHM. Song Yangzhu nodded and suddenly said, Let Jingwen stay with you tonight. Huh. Su Jingwen heard this and immediately blushed. These few days, Su Jingwen was with Yi Mo. She regained her vitality that she had when she was in Ninghai. The only thing she was embarrassed to talk about was being real husband and wife with Yi Mo. But no matter how much she wanted it, she couldn't talk about it straight to Yi Mo, especially when Song Yangju was on the side. These few days, Su Jingwen was with Yi Mo. She regained her vitality that she had when she was in Ninghai. The only thing she was embarrassed to talk about was being real husband and wife with Yi Mo. But no matter how much she wanted it, she couldn't talk about it straight to Yi Mo, especially when Song Yangju was on the side. But when Song Yangju really said it in front of her, she couldn't handle it. Yi Mo saw Su Jingwen's embarrassment and smiled, grabbing her hand. Yangju, you and Jingwen are the same to me as Susu and Qingxue. When we go back to Mou City, we will have another wedding, just like the one in Luoyu City. Song Yangju's eyes showed surprise and joy. She was Yi Mo's first woman. But when Yi Mo got married, she could only hide and cry with Yi Mo. That sorrow was incomprehensible. Today, Yi Mo finally understood her and wanted to do a make-up wedding for her. This made her want to cry. She had always thought she was only Yi Mo's wife because of Yi Mo. Without Yi Mo, she would never be Yi Mo's wife. As a woman from Earth, she didn't yearn for cultivation, but only to stay with her husband forever. Husband. Song Yangju couldn't hold her excitement and cuddled into Yi Mo's arms. Go back with me. Song Yangju completely forgot Su Jingwen was on the side and murmured. Her body was even getting hot. Su Jingwen's face blushed red like a tomato. She didn't expect Song Yangju to be this open. We're all married women like this. She thought about it, and her body felt soft too. Yi Mo looked into the distant sky, lost in thought. He thought of Mu Xiaoyan, but where was she? For Yi Mo, the last time he let loose was when he saw Susu and Qingxue a few years ago. Now, Song Yangju's passion almost ate him. For the first time, he eased up and slept an entire night. When the morning sun shone in, Yi Mo felt completely relaxed. He reached out and grabbed the soft body next to him. However, the body was a little stiff. He immediately laughed. Yangju, are you only so bold at night? Suddenly, he felt this body wasn't Song Yangju's. The place he was holding was much bigger than Song Yangju. Yi Mo was shook, but a familiar body aroma smell came, and Yi Mo immediately knew who was in his arms. Jingwen, MHM. A mumble sounded. Jingwen was here. Yangju must have called her here. He didn't go think much and hugged Su Jingwen's stiff body. Su Jingwen only felt tense for a moment before she melted and instead cuddled Yi Mo with more passion. Su Jingwen was a very conservative woman, but she was also a woman who only had one love. Before Yi Mo, she had never liked a man before. After she liked Yi Mo, she experienced all sorts of troubles from Ninghai to Luoyu City to the small world to Luoyu continent, chasing all the way here just for the Yi Mo she loved. Now in Yi Mo's arms, she released all these years of longing and desire. She crazily cuddled Yi Mo and kissed him as though trying to squeeze her entire body into Yi Mo. Yi Mo's heart rose with softness and love. He thought of that snowy day on the street. Su Jingwen seemed like a lonely scenery. She roamed on a street in a place she was unfamiliar with in the blizzard. He could never forget that. He could never forget how her eyes were still looking at him despite her being unconscious. Now the woman was in his arms, but Yi Mo felt guilty. He felt he owed her a lot. A soft woman living on Earth had to stay in Peihai and fight spirit beasts every day. Su Jingwen had an extreme sense of satisfaction now. What are you thinking about? Su Jingwen saw Yi Mo look at her with loving eyes and hugged her so tight that she almost couldn't breathe. Yi Mo kissed her lips and said, I'm thinking about the snowing city, that lonely street. Su Jingwen's eyes turned miserable. When I first met you, I was in my home in a busy street. People flowed by. You were selling runes in one corner. At that time, you were not my scenery, but you saved my mother. The last time I saw you, I was alone in the street of another world. Snowflakes fell. You stood alone in the street, waiting for the snow. At that time, you were the illusion in my heart. You let me leave without any last wishes. She never had thought that the last glance was no illusion. She really saw Yimo. Su Jingwen looked at Yimo's wet, guilty eyes and lay on him. She wiped his eyes and murmured, "Take me." The morning ray grew brighter and brighter. Mixed with Su Jingwen's low moans, it seemed more and more tranquil. When Su Jingwen and Yi Emo got out of the bedroom, Su Jingwen and them were already waiting for them in the hall. Song Yangzhu, Yiling, and them looked at Su Jingwen with a smile, making her blush hard. Even though she was nascent soul state, her first time made her legs soft and shaky. Jiling, Meng Henan, as well as Pei Hai City, Lord, were all here. Even that elderly was here too. What happened? Yi Emo looked at them in confusion. Qiu quickly said in respect, "Sect leader Yi, if Jiling Qian Bei didn't tell me, we still wouldn't know that sect leader Yi was also a formation grandmaster. It's like this, after discussion, we want to set up a top-grade level 9 defense formation in Pei Hai." Yi Emo smiled and nodded. "Even if City Lord Qi didn't say it, I would still come help. MOU is still in Pei Hai. Pei Hai not only needs a defense formation, but I also plan to set up a level 9 attack formation. In the future, beast tides of this caliber can be ignored." Hearing this, Chi Ziyu said in joy, "If it's really so, then Pei Hai City would be very safe, probably safer than Broken Leaf City." Chi Ziyu thought of something and quickly said, "According to the news we got, the beast tide leaving Broken Leaf City was related to us." Yi Emo nodded. He also felt there was definitely some connection. While they were discussing how to set up the defense formation, Li Jingwen quickly walked in and said quietly, "Sect leader, Wan Yu sect sent a flying sword. Their sect leader Shan Di invited sect leader to go to Wan Yu sect." His tone doesn't seem very nice. Yi Emo sneered. He hated these old people putting on airs. Shan Di had a deal with him, but he didn't stick to it and even helped people attack MOU. Yi Emo wouldn't believe he didn't know about E coming here. This guy was no different to that Zhang Qingfeng. How did he have the face to call him over? Who did he think he was? Thinking about this, Yi Emo sneered. "I will go over, but not now. After I'm done with Pei Hai City, I will go to Wang Yu sect and kill that EE for Li Qishan." Ten days later, outside a small town in North Far State, a young man and woman walked in. These two were Yi Emo and Su Jingwen. This town was the place Su Jingwen and Yimo stayed before, the place where Yimo was taken away. 10 days later, outside a small town in North Far State, a young man and woman walked in. These two were Yi Emo and Su Jingwen. This town was the place Su Jingwen and Yimo stayed before, the place where Yimo was taken away. They didn't know how long it would take to find Yimo, so Song Yangzhu and Yi Ling stayed in MOU. Yi Emo left behind a spirit marrow pond for them to break through to nascent soul state. There was Meng Henan protecting them. The town was very old, but Yi Emo saw the 2 words water lily outside the town. "Jingwen, you and Yimo lived in here for a while?" Yi Emo asked. "MHM." Su Jingwen leaned on Yimo and answered, "When we came here we didn't know anyone, so we stayed here. Then we went outside the town to practice some magic until that day. Yimo was taken disciple by that cultivator. Then I went to Fu Mo City alone. Fu Mo City was destroyed, so then I went to Jiangchuan City and met you." Yi Mo scanned with spirit sense inside the town. They were all ordinary people. He said to Su Jingwen, Jingwen, take me to the place where Yimo was practicing lightning magic. The two turned away, but soon, two figures landed in front of them. Yimo already recognized one of them. There was one man and one woman. The woman was very pretty, just a little bit less pretty than Su Jingwen. She was Golden Core State Level 6. The man was very handsome and was Golden Core State Peak Stage. Yi, stop. The female cultivator blocked Yimo's way and stared at him. What are you doing here? Then, she saw Su Jingwen and felt a little shocked. She clearly felt Su Jingwen was prettier than her. Yimo frowned and said coldly, "What does that have to do with you? I feel strange. Last time I saw it was Yuruyu next to you. How come you changed someone today?" She was the Haitong that he met at the South Mountain Market, the sect member of 5-star sect Duo Heart Valley. Yimo remembered she had a brother called Hai Xan. This man with her wasn't Hai Xan. He became friends with Yuruyu, and Yuruyu gave him a low-grade star sand. That Yuruyu was too honest and let this Han Tong have it her way for everything. Now, she was with some other male cultivator. Yimo quite approved of Yuruyu, but he was just too honest. Hearing this, the male cultivator frowned but didn't talk. He couldn't tell Yimo or Su Jingwen's power, but Su Jingwen was indeed prettier than Haitong. Clearly she had no simple origin, so he didn't say anything. But he could tell both of them were very young. Perhaps the two had some stealth cultivation method, and that's why he couldn't see their power. It wasn't that their power was higher than his. His talent was very good and came from a big sect. It was very hard to surpass him for people around his age. Hai Tong sneered. "Don't say shit. I have nothing to do with Yuruyu." Yimo seemed to breathe easy and nodded. "That's great. I was scared that brother you took the wrong girl and ruined his life. It's good that he stopped and left you." Then Yimo couldn't be bothered talking to her anymore and said, "Jingwen, take me to that small mountain." Su Jingwen agreed and held Yimo's hands, and they turned away. Humph. Haitong didn't like seeing Su Jingwen being so gentle to Yimo and suddenly said, "You think you're good because you have a stealth cultivation method, so I can't see your power? After all these years, don't tell me you're still Foundation Establishment State?" However, Yimo still ignored her, so she said grumpily, "Even if you don't tell me, I know you're going to All Herb Mountain Range. And you must apologize to me first, or you won't be able to leave." "Go to All Herb Mountain Range for what?" Yimo just wanted to ask when that male cultivator stopped in front of Yimo, "You're rude. Apologize to her before you go." He wasn't concerned with them now that Haitong exposed his past. Yimo looked at this Golden Core State male cultivator and felt strange. He was a cauldron-filling state and was now stopped by a Golden Core State who was trying to force him to apologize. He glared at this male cultivator. "You really want me to apologize? If you're not deaf, then do as Sister Tong said," the male cultivator said calmly. Yimo suddenly smiled. "I know how to act cool more than you. I won't apologize, but I have a slap." Seeing that Yimo was going to fight, the male cultivator was immediately going to release his magic artifact, but he soon realized that he couldn't move at all. Slap, Yimo's slap, sent him flying a few hundred meters away, landing in a ravine. He then spat out more than 10 teeth. The calm look disappeared from his face. Instead, it was now full of shock, slapping him a few hundred meters away, just with a cultivation essence hand and binding him at the same time. What power was this? Nascent soul state? Definitely not. Hollow spirit state? Definitely not either. When he realized Yimo was probably body condensation state or above, there was extreme anxiety in his eyes. He offended a body condensation state cultivator. Even if he killed him, his sect wouldn't offend a body condensation state for him. Yimo shook his head and looked coldly at Haitong. "On Yuruyu's account, I'll let you go again today. You should feel lucky you met me. If it was someone else, you would already be dead. Perhaps if you met someone else, you would know how important Yuruyu is to you, before you die. Seeing the two leave, Haitong reacted and felt her face. She felt lucky, but was extremely shocked at Yimo's power. Yimo was clearly above Hollow Spirit State, and the strongest person in her sect was only Hollow Spirit State. She understood what Yuryu meant. When he was with her, he solved the many troubles she caused, just like at the market last time when she kept looking for trouble with Yimo. Haitong felt bad the more she thought about it. Before, she thought Yuryu was a coward, apologizing to everyone. She felt Yuryu lost face for the magical sword sect. Then, she stayed with core disciple of 6-star sect, Luo Tan sword sect, Gumingsu. She experienced what it was like to do as she pleased. But was that really good? They taught a lesson to those weaker than him. If they met someone as powerful as Yimo, he might kill them on a whim. Haitong shivered. If Yimo wanted to kill her, there was nothing she could do. He might be able to annihilate her entire sect. Now, she didn't feel good about doing what she wanted. She just felt scared. Su Jingwen and Yimo stood at the top of a small hill. Yimo picked up a small rock. There were marks on it. Su Jingwen said this was left by Yimo cultivating her lightning style cultivation method. Yimo looked at the burnt rock. Look at the peak opposite. It's not tall, but it was shattered in one palm by the cultivator who took Yimo. Su Jingwen pointed. Yimo looked at the distance and the area, and knew that the cultivator was at least cauldron-filling state, tertiary stage. Su Jingwen looked below and said, "The female cultivator came back again. What does she want to do?" Even Su Jingwen knew that female cultivator's attitude was wrong. If she continued like this, she would suffer. Yimo smiled. "Let's go. I have a headache seeing this woman who thinks she's #1 in the world. It's good that Yuryu left someone like her." Su Jingwen smiled and held Yimo's arm. They got on Zisu, and Zisu darted into the sky, disappearing. As soon as Haitong got to the foot of the mountain, she saw Yimo disappear with that woman. She realized how arrogant and stupid she was and came to apologize, but Yimo didn't even want to see her and left. Not everyone treated her as queen. The only one was Yuryu, that dummy. Now, Gumingsu also flew towards her, calling her name. Haitong looked back at this Gumingsu, who always taught other cultivators a lesson, and felt annoyed. She ignored him and flew off in the direction Yimo had left. "Where are we going?" Su Jingwen asked softly. She really wanted to stand in that street she met Yimo on for a while. Just a while was good. She was grateful to that street, that snowy day that allowed her to find Yimo. Yimo also wanted to go there, but hearing Haitong's words, he suddenly wanted to go to All Herb mountain range. In the depths, there was a terrifying being. Yimo still felt fear even now. If Fate Zijiang didn't find people to come there, he would be trapped in that hexagonal hall forever. He wondered if those nascent soul state cultivators ever came out. Let's go All Herb mountain range and see first. I'm not sure of where Yimo is right now yet. Let's go see what happened at All Herb mountain range first, Yimo said. It was like finding a needle in the ocean to find Yimo in the huge North Far state. Yimo put away Zisu and took out his self-made low-grade flying cultivation artifact. He made this type to be the enjoyment type magic artifact. There was a huge platform at the front of the magic artifact with a wooden table. Yimo and Su Jingwen sat by the side drinking spirit tea while watching the clouds. It was very enjoyable. It'll be so good one day if we can sit on our own flying cultivation artifact and fly back to Ninghai, Su Jingwen said. She was very happy being with Yimo, but she missed her mother. Yimo held her hands and said, "That day will come, don't worry. If Chu Jiu could go back to Earth, so can we." I believe you, Su Jingwen said. The flying magic artifact only flew for 2 hours, and there was an increase in cultivators on the way. But they didn't even dare to go near Yimo's flying magic artifact. At this moment, Yimo was sure something happened in the All-Herb mountain range. They were all flying towards it. Yimo sped up, and when he flew next to an extreme-grade flying spirit artifact, Yimo waved and said to the cultivator, "Friend, I have something to ask." This cultivator was nascent, soul state, middle stage. When he saw Yimo was using a low-grade flying cultivation artifact, and he couldn't see through Yimo's power at all, he knew Yimo's power was far higher than his. He quickly slowed down his flying spirit artifact and saluted with his fists. "Qianbei, what do you need to ask?" Yimo nodded. "Why are so many cultivators go to All-Herb mountain range now?" The cultivator answered, "A few days ago, the All-Herb mountain range's earth cracked open, and the entire All-Herb mountain range was uprooted. Some peaks became valleys, some lakes became peaks." Yimo was shook. Did something happen to that hexagonal hall? That was a seal. If the seal was broken, would that spirit body come out? That guy was no simple person. Otherwise, why would he have a heaven-grade mobility technique or level 10 material? Yimo was worried as he had enmity with that guy. He took a lot of that guy's things, but didn't help him at all. The nascent soul state cultivator quickly said, "Qianbei, is there some problem?" Yimo asked again. "Earth-shattering happens frequently in some mountain ranges. There's no need to go see every time, right?" The nascent soul state quickly said again, "I heard that a lot of things that didn't belong to the All-Herb mountain range appeared. There are all sorts of ores, spirit herbs, and some people even found the level 9 spirit herb truth spirit herb, as well as many more level 8 spirit herbs." This happened. Yimo was shook. The nascent soul state nodded. "Qianbei, this is definitely real. All these cultivators are going there for these spirit herbs and ores." "Thank you." Yimo saluted with his fists and then pulled Su Jingwen out, releasing Blue Moon. Seeing the blue ray Blue Moon made, this nascent soul state looked dazedly at the trail, thinking, "This is probably an extreme-grade flying cultivation artifact. This is the first time I've seen one." "What happened?" Su Jingwen asked. "Changing flying magic artifacts made their speed hundreds of times faster." Yimo nodded seriously. "I'm scared of something happening. If it really did, it won't be good." In just half an hour, a huge mountain range appeared before him. Even with his spirit sense, he couldn't scan for even 1,000th of the mountain range. He had come here more than once, but it had changed greatly. Yimo saw countless cultivators searching the outskirts for something. There were even more than 10 hollow spirit state cultivators. Yimo's Blue Moon immediately caught everyone's attention. After all, it was not only high level, but also pretty. However, no one dared to come up and talk. After all, they couldn't even see Yimo's power level, not even the hollow spirit state cultivators. However, one white-faced skinny old man appeared before Yimo and Su Jingwen. His eyes seemed narrow and he seemed harmless. But Yimo knew this old man was no good person. He was Sima Zhu, the guy called White Half-Pill King. He hated Yimo to the bones. Yimo knew the reason Sima Zhu dared to come over was because he was only Foundation establishment state before. Seeing Sima Zhu walk towards Yimo, all the cultivators looked over. The other hollow spirit state cultivators were also surprised. Even they couldn't see Yimo's power. How did Sima Zhu dare to look for trouble with Yimo? The flying magic artifact was good, but he needed the power to steal it. Haha, the Pill Concoction Hall of Fame #1 is indeed different. This stealth cultivation method makes even me unable to see your power. Yimo, this is your wife, right? She's very pretty. Sigh, what a pity. Sima Zhu shook his head. Haha, the Pill Concoction Hall of Fame #1 is indeed different. This stealth cultivation method makes even me unable to see your power. Yemo, this is your wife, right? She's very pretty. Sigh, what a pity. Sima, Zhu shook his head. Hearing this, all the cultivators realized that Yemo was using a stealth cultivation method. No wonder Sima, Zhu dared to go up. Those few hollow spirit state cultivators regretted immediately. If they knew this, they would have gone up already. Sima Zhu grew strong rapidly these few years. He was hollow spirit state level 8 now. Ordinary hollow spirit state didn't dare to do anything to him. Plus, there was the rule of being first. Thus, despite knowing the flying magic artifact might be an extreme grade cultivation artifact, they could only watch. Sima, Zhu's tone changed. That old man, Su Jianhu, tricked me, saying you went to South P State. Hee, you're back quick. But your wife's power grows fast. She's nascent soul state, middle stage already. Yi Emo looked calm and didn't do anything. He was waiting for Tong Wuxing. Tong Wuxing was also here, but this idiot Sima, Zhu didn't realize. When they came, he needed to ask the two where they got the book thing. Yi Emo also saw another cauldron-filling state peak stage cultivator looking over, but he hid his power level. Cauldron-filling state peak stage cultivators were very rare in North Far State. Even though he showed his power to be hollow spirit state tertiary stage, he couldn't hide anything from Yemo, seeing that Yemo didn't talk. Sima, Zhu suddenly said coldly, "You took my book and that rare flame in the Changfeng Valley, right? Give it to me, take out your storage ring, and slice off an arm." Sima Zhu laughed. "You know why I let you live. Because you brought a good wife, so you saved yourself." Yi Emo wanted to wait for Tong Wuxing to come over first. But since Sima Zhu wanted to die quickly and insult Su Jingwen, he couldn't hold back anymore. He took out a glove and put on. Then he said coldly, "Sima Zhu, you know why I'm wearing a glove?" Sima Zhu was dazed, but before he could react, Yi Emo grabbed Sima Zhu's neck and wrung it in the air before saying coldly, "Because I'm afraid your neck would dirty my hands." Sima Zhu was no longer arrogant like before. His face was in utter shock. He had never thought that a foundation establishment state a few years ago would be this terrifying. He couldn't resist at all. What power was this? Body condensation state? Cauldron filling state, or disaster transformation state? He saw Yi Emo reach his hand over, but he couldn't move. The rest of the hollow spirit state cultivators were all shocked and rejoiced at not going up. Yi Emo looked coldly at him. "You're right, I took all those things, but what can you do? You can't see my power, but it's not because I'm hiding it. It's because I've progressed a lot, but it seems you haven't progressed much. You were hollow spirit state level 6 before, and now you're barely hollow spirit state level 8. Sima Zhu, have you been living like a dog?" "Yes, Qianbei." "Qianbei." Sima Zhu couldn't even speak properly. He was trembling. He knew he was done for. But Yi Emo called to another cultivator, Tong Wuxing, come over. Tong Wuxing was on par with Sima Zhu in both pill concoction skills and power. He saw Yi Emo clench Sima Zhu's neck as soon as he got off his flying magic artifact and was very shocked. Before he could react, Yi Emo called him over. Without hesitation, he released his magic artifact, wanting to run. But as soon as he released his flying magic artifact, a lightning bolt appeared, blasting his flying magic artifact. Yi Emo said coldly, "If you dare to run away, then don't come over. I'll send you off." Tong Wuxing shivered and walked to Yi Emo, bowing. "Yi Qianbei, Wan Bei Tong Wuxing was blind and didn't see you here. I heard you went with this trash to Pei High City to find me." Yi Emo asked coldly. "Qianbei is mistaken. How would I dare to find Qianbei? This Sima Zhu provoked me to go, but I didn't do anything in Pei High City," Tong Wuxing quickly said. "Oh." Yi Emo looked at Tong Wuxing in confusion. but the rare flame and thing is all on me. Don't you guys want it? Tong Wuxing trembled, thinking, would I dare to ask for it? But he quickly said, Qian Bei, that belongs to you. How would I dare to ask for it? Then he pointed at Sima Zhu. This old man Sima is very evil. He liked his little martial sister. She didn't want to marry him, so he killed her man and raped her. Yi Mo's eyes flashed with disgust and threw Sima Zhu down. Where did you guys find that book? If there's one word I'm not happy with, I'll kill you. I'll say it in South Mountain Market. We saw it in a stall and fought over it. We took half each. Then we wanted to ask that stall owner, but he was already gone. Tong Wuxing frowned. Yi Mo frowned. He knew it was impossible to find the source of the book after all these years. He looked coldly at the two and said, You two fight now. I can consider letting the winner leave. Before Yi Mo finished talking, Sima Zhu released his dark net while Tong Wuxing was on par, and more than 10 flying swords flew out of his sleeve. Seeing this, Yi Mo could tell just how sneaky these two were. The two didn't dare to hold back at all. Even though they knew Yi Mo was considering letting the winner leave, they didn't dare to have any objections. Sima Zhu's net was much more powerful than before and wanted to trap Tong Wuxing's flying swords. But the two fought a lot, and Tong Wuxing knew how to counterattack. The two were getting farther and farther away. Yi Mo sneered. They wanted to play this trick with him. When they were both 1,000 meters away from Yi Mo, the both spat blood and used blood mobility. Before they could finish it, Yi Mo raised his hand and 2 lightning swords flew over. The two were burnt to crisps, and even their souls were disintegrated. The rest of the cultivators took a cold breath in. This was too powerful. 2 lightning arcs, killing 2 hollow spirit state, tertiary stage. Those cultivators didn't even dare to look at Yi Mo anymore. The hidden cauldron filling state, tertiary stage, saw Yi Mo's lightning arc and his eyes spasmed. It was a lightning cultivator reaching cauldron filling state, and who could use such powerful lightning arcs. This was too shocking. At this moment, that calm valley made a huge explosion again. Countless pebbles and weeds was blasted into the air. A nascent soul state picked up the spirit herb in front of him and said in shock, Level 8 spirit herb, Jiexing. Almost everyone looked at the spirit herb in his hand, but Yi Mo frowned at the direction of the explosion. It was the place of the seal. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.